my shorts.
Hello, everybody. Well, done again. I've done it again. I'm tangled up. Welcome to the Dave Lee Down Under podcast. I'm, of course, your host, Dave Lee, and this is episode number 32. 32 shows we're in. I gotta unmute you. 32. Hey, we didn't do a little clink.
We haven't done this for a couple of weeks.
No. There we go. Well, so they can hear it out there. There we go. Oh, that's a nice one, actually.
Just didn't spill it, that's all.
No, thank God. It was right over the top of this, too. That could have been disaster. The podcast, of course, goes out on the podcasting platforms every single Monday. That includes Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, Amazon, and Audible. The visual element is available on YouTube. That goes out 2 days earlier to Patreon supporters. So if you would like to, if you'd like to get that early access on the Saturday, you can head over to patreon.com/Dave Lee Down Under. Sign up for as little as $1 a month.
Cheap
Bargain. Little as $1 a month. You can give a little bit more if you like, but it's as little as $1 a month. We've migrated video podcasts to the second channel now. So I would appreciate the follows over there, because
just need a few.
Need a few more followers. Need like another 500 followers.
Yeah, thereabouts.
And like another 3,000 hours watch time, so I can get my monetization back. I'm losing money on the podcast.
Come on, get on it.
I'm going broke.
Yeah, I'm having to pay his way. Come on, help me out, please.
Yeah. No, all the funds that I get from Patreon at the moment is going into running the podcast just fine. That's what the Patreon's there for, just to support the channel and keep it running. I think my headphones are around the wrong way. There we go. Yeah, so I do appreciate...
How can you tell that? Could you hear your voice backwards or something?
No, it just felt weird. Just didn't feel quite right. Yeah, you can find me on YouTube at Dave Lee Down Under. Over on Twitter and Instagram, links in the description of every podcast for all the avenues. All of that, it's all down there. If you want to write into the show, you can shoot an email at daveleepod@gmail.com. A few people have been using it recently, which is really nice.
Good.
Actually. Yeah. If you're listening on the podcast platforms, please leave a review.
Only good ones.
And ratings. Yeah, good ones.
And if you put up a bad one, I'll hunt you down.
Yeah, we'll get you. Yeah. No, we won't.
Just
joking, but maybe. We'll see how we feel. Anyway,
are we?
Maybe. Who knows? We'll figure it out. Just test your luck. See what happens.
No, don't test your luck, because it means I'll put up a bad review.
Oh, yeah, shit.
So
don't do it. Don't test your luck. You don't know what'll happen. Of course, to the right of me today is old mate Rick joining me once again.
The old boy.
Yeah, he's back.
Hope everyone's okay.
Yeah.
We're doing really well here in Melbourne.
We are. Well.
Well, in Australia in general.
Wood. Is it 3? I think 3 is bad luck, isn't it? I have to do another one to outweigh it. So there's 4. Maybe they just make sure. Okay, it's done now. I knocked the head too, just to make sure it's all good luck. Because there was that one.
Fucking head's made of wood.
I know. There's that one guy, wasn't there, that had tested positive earlier in the week.
Yeah, well, he did his quarantine in South Australia.
Yeah.
Came back from India.
Yeah. Which is where it's exploded at the moment over in India. It's crazy.
Feel sorry for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he did his quarantining in a hotel in South Australia, Adelaide.
Yeah.
And tested negative, and they released him.
Yeah.
And came back to Victoria and was in the community for 4 or 5 days and felt a bit crook. And got a test and he was positive.
Yeah.
So either the testing over in South Australia is not great, or it just took a while.
Just one of those things where you hear about people getting either the false negatives, or you hear people
positive,
or you hear about people who test negative one day and then positive the next.
Yeah.
It's just one of those weird things.
And then you got people like we know a couple of people who, well, one Benny, he had no symptoms whatsoever, and he tested positive.
Nuts.
So.
Yeah, but he'd been all over the place.
A long time ago.
He'd been out to dinner. He'd been to supermarkets. He'd been to petrol stations. He'd been on the train.
On the train at the end of a football match.
Yeah,
so it would have been packed.
They're like hundreds, if not thousands of people may have been exposed. But so far, there's been no other cases, thankfully.
Let's hope so.
Knock wood again. We haven't been up to much this week. I feel like we started
really.
the week.
I've been really knackered this week. Can't get motivated this week.
Yeah.
So I'm a fat ass.
Well, you finish doing your work, and when you finish working, you just sit on the couch and you're done for a month.
Yeah, that's about right.
I told you this. I said once you're finished what you're doing.
But I haven't finished that other job yet.
I know, but you're like in the mindset you get back in the mindset. Start doing some things around the house.
Yeah.
Tinker around.
Well, we've got a shitload to do. So
I know, that's what I mean.
Planning to build some more stuff. So
always plan to build shit.
Yeah, but this one has to be done quick.
Yeah,
Let's get this one done pretty quick, so we can sort of set the office
room
up
done
properly.
Yeah. I've been working on.
Haven't stopped.
I haven't stopped. I've been working on the next evolution, which is because I've just got one up today. Disaster with that, by the way. Oh no, shit! I had my evolution Tasmanian Devil Taz. I had it scheduled for. Well, I always put my evolutions out on the Tuesday, so which is usually like the Wednesday morning here. So I had that scheduled. I was supposed to go out at 2 a.m. on the Wednesday, but I accidentally set it for 2 p.m.
Oh.
So what I usually do is, so when I schedule my video, I also schedule posts on Twitter and I schedule posts on the community board. So at 2 o'clock, well, whenever the video is scheduled, the video goes out and then the Twitter post goes out and then the community board, but all goes out at once. I've just all pre-scheduled. I don't have to worry about it at the time. So I've woken up in the morning to everything having gone live except for the video.
Oh, God.
150 comments by the morning. Where's the video? It's private. You're a liar, one guy says. Liar. Yeah, he was really angry, and people were like, chill out, man. It's probably just a
shit for free.
Error.
Why are you getting angry?
Yeah, but there were actually people like chiming in like, just chill out. Just like, you'll have it soon. Just stop being so ungrateful. Liar, he says. Exclamation mark.
2 or 3 weeks making this thing.
I know. Pisses me off.
Shit.
Anyway. And then I've always got people like requesting new evolutions, and I've got dozens of people requesting new evolutions on this post of this video that hasn't even gone live yet. And like, just chill, just simmer down, guys. And then I had to post an update, which was like, I'm sorry, this accidentally happened. I'm going to reschedule it to tomorrow. And then I posted another post just to make sure people saw it. Of course, you can't, not everyone sees everything. So then throughout the next day, I'm still getting, what's happened? Where's the video? What's going on? It's not working. I'm saying it is working. I made a mistake.
There's a scheduling issue.
There's a scheduling issue. No, it's not working. The link's not working. I've explained this. I've told you 6 times. Anyway,
bloody hell.
So I was going to put up that next day. A bunch of news stuff dropped. So I did like 2 news videos in the morning. I had to do that. I did like a review for that exhibition that day. And then I had to drop a review as well for those who wish me dead. And YouTube will only send out 3 notifications to your subscribers within a 24-hour period. So I thought, fucking hell, I've dropped all these videos. I've dropped at least 3 videos throughout the day. If I put this evolution up, it's not going to go out to people. So I had to push it out another day.
God.
It's finally gone out last night. So anyway, that's out there, and I'm still...
Are they actually sending notifications out, or what? Are they still fucking around with it?
I don't know, but what I do now, just to make sure, because last time with the Superman video, which didn't go out to people, notifications, they weren't getting the notifications, but they were seeing that community post where I asked why are people watching it. Everyone's like, I didn't get notified. So what I do now is every time a video goes out, I make a community board post as well.
Yeah, you have
just to make sure that it does get out to people in some way. I think it's working. We'll see. So anyway, I've been dealing with all this. I've been dealing with trying to getting that video done and then trying to sort out the scheduling. Meanwhile, in the background, I'm also working on the next evolution, which I'm hoping to launch by the end of the month. So you can have 2 this month, but I don't know if it's going to happen. I've got like 7 days in which I have to write it, record it, edit. It's only a short one though, so I'm hoping I can get it done in a week.
Just don't promise you'll have it done.
No, I'm not promising nothing.
No.
It'll be done by at least the end of next week, I'm sure, but it might not be as done as early as I hope.
Right.
because I wanted out on like Tuesday. But if
Because you lose a few days, you lose Sunday and...
Well, I'll lose 2 Sundays for the football. I lose 2 Fridays because of the podcast. There's 4 days gone. So I'm left with like 7 days in which I have to get this done. And that's like work non-stop. And I think we have a film premiere between then as well. So we'll see what happens.
Do we?
Yeah, the one just got tickets for it, Cruella, today. And I think that's because that's
You allowed to say that?
Yeah, I'm allowed to. I think I'm allowed to say that. Yeah. So we've got a preview for that in between everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that's
so
been
next week, the week after.
What's that?
Cruella.
The week after. I think it's that.
It's not next week.
Oh wait, shit! It might actually be next week. Yeah. Yeah. Next week.
Is it next week? No, I think it's the week after.
Yeah, 2 week after.
Yeah.
So that's like, that's the day that I want the video up, actually. So we'll see. It might not get in the way. Anyway,
we'll see.
Anyway, so yeah, that's been my week. Very, very busy. We went to the exhibition, of course. We'll talk about that in the show, awesome. Which was great. The Disney exhibition at the ACMI. We'll talk about that soon. I had to do a film review for Those Who Wish Me Dead. It's just been busy this week. And it's so much cartoon news, so much of it. So much that I've barely got anything watched this week again. I had a few things we can talk about that we did watch. We'll try and keep it short for Wacko Jacko, who hates sitting here listening to us go on for 50 minutes. Jerk. So, but I didn't get many catalogs in this week because there's been cartoon news, because we're ramping up to Space Jam now and the Rugrats reboot. There's just fucking something every day. So I'm like, oh shit, wake up in the morning, quick, do a video. I just don't have time. Anyway, so this week, or over the weekend, I managed to watch The Quick and the Dead. You were seeing this years ago.
Saw it years ago, yeah. Don't remember a lot about it, but I just didn't really take to Sharon Stone being a gunslinger.
Yeah, I thought she was all right. I like Sharon Stone, though, but I like Basic Instinct's one of my favourite movies.
Yeah, it's a great film.
I don't know. The weird thing about this movie is I posted about this on Twitter, actually, a while ago, because it was really cheap. The 4K disc, to import the disc was like $14 or like $11 or something, really cheap on Amazon. And I posted about it. Everyone's like, I don't even know what this movie is. I was like, what? And I was kind of like, well, mate, because the funny thing was I didn't really know what it was either. I'd heard of it, but I never really paid much attention to it. Anyway, I posted it out. I was like, oh, guys, you can get... And it was like, oh, what this is. This is a Western film made in the early 90s. Yep. Gene Hackman, Sharon Stone, Russell Crowe. This is like one of his first American films. Leonardo DiCaprio is a baby. Not actually a baby. Not actually a baby, but he's like very young in it. I think he's like 19 or 20.
Yeah, he was
very young.
Because he was a gunslinger.
Yeah, they all are, because it's like this. It's this. What do you call it? Like a roulette game where they have to like pull names. They all enter this like draw. And it's like last man standing sort of thing. So they all have to end up in these little gunfights and last man standing wins. But this is directed by Sam Raimi, who directed the original Spider-Man films. He did like Army of the Dead or whatever he did. I don't know, one of those fucking really cult horror films he did early in his career. I haven't seen any of them, so I'm probably wrong. But yeah, great filmmaker. And like it's got everything going for it. Sam Raimi, stacked cast, really cool Western. And this is shot gorgeously. Like, it's amazing. Yeah,
it's nice. Well shot.
But yeah, no one's heard of this.
Particularly for its time. Like,
well, yeah.
We didn't have the same standards as we do now.
Oh, yeah, exactly. But, yeah, the weird thing is no one's heard of this movie. You'd think that this would be like a huge, like, blockbuster thing. I don't think it performed very well when it first opened, which is probably why I think people maybe got swept under the rug. But it's great. And pretty much all the cast is really good. It's also got Keith David in there, who is Franks and Beans. From
Frank and Beans.
Frank and Beans from Something About Mary.
Yeah.
How'd you get the beans above the Frank? And it's also got Robert Blossoms, who's that old guy in Home Alone with the shovel with the murderer. Yeah. It's got then all these other just little people scattered throughout. It's really good, and it's filmed stunning. Like he makes use of not only the vertigo shot, the vertigo shot where you've got the foreground stays while the background moves.
Yeah.
So essentially you're pulling in while you're zooming out, or you're zooming in while you're pulling out, and it makes like this perspective thing. You use it over and over in the film, but he also combines it with a Dutch angle. So, So a Dutch angle is where the camera's on a really weird tilt. And apparently it's really hard, particularly when you're doing it by hand, when they were doing it by hand with the old cameras, it's really difficult to achieve that vertigo shot with a Dutch angle at the same time.
They're just not working hard enough.
No, apparently it's really hard. Apparently it's hard because with those old cameras, you had to do it all by you couldn't do it by eye. You just had to and get the camera to tilt, because it's not just on a Dutch angle and they're doing it. It's actually tilting into the angle and doing the zoom, and it's crazy.
I can't say how to be too hard, because you got one guy operating the camera, another one, you got a focus pull, and you got someone else.
Well, I don't know.
Someone else pulling.
I don't know, but apparently it's very hard and it's very rare. You don't see it in films very much.
Yeah, I sort of get it. Sort of get it.
Because when you're moving the camera, the focus goes.
Yeah.
So you have to know that focus for every angle that camera's taking. So it's easy enough to set a focus for one point, but while you're moving as well, the focus is fucking going everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's probably, I don't know. Anyway, he
Someone's
used
got it mapped out, that'd be all right.
I'm sure, but apparently it's so rare.
Chances are cameras would be able to do it automatically now. You'd be able to set
of course,
parameters.
but the thing is, this was done on a big film camera, all done by hand.
Yeah.
So apparently very rare. Anyway, it's gorgeous film. Cinematography is incredible on it, and it's just good. It's just good fun, just stupid Western movie, shoot 'em up sort of thing. Check it out if you can. I think it's on Netflix. It was at one point.
I like the film, but for me, Sharon Stone wasn't convincing. For me,
I don't know. You gotta watch it again. You probably watched it in the 90s.
I watched it on VHS, probably.
Yeah, back in the 90s.
Yeah, probably.
It's good. I liked it. I also watched one called Kingpin, which was I almost meant to say Robert De Niro. Fucking Woody Harrelson and Dennis Quaid, and not Dennis Quaid, Randy Quaid.
Randy Quaid.
Yeah. Who else was in it? I think there's at least one other person. Oh, Bill Murray as well. This is a Farrelly Brothers film from the early 90s, maybe mid 90s.
It's a great film.
This is the only one of their movies I've never watched.
No,
apart from some of their newer stuff.
Oh, that's a great film.
Amazing.
I really enjoy that.
Good. So funny. I thought it was the funniest thing. I bought this on Amazon again really cheap, like $11 or something. And I don't know why. It just bypassed me, but it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Like I love Dumb and Dumber, and Something About Mary is like one of my favorite comedies ever. I don't know how many times I watched that. So I love the Farrelly Brothers stuff. And this one, I don't know how. It just escaped me. It's like this really great cult comedy, and it is hilarious.
Woody Harrelson with his rubber hand.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. It's hilarious.
Oh, and Amish Dennis Quaid. Randy Quaid. Randy Quaid.
Yeah,
so fun. Yeah. It is one of the funniest things I've seen in a long time. I don't know why it's taking me so long to get to it. Anyway, I loved it.
Well, good IMDb rating too.
Yeah, I know. I think that's why I bought it. I was like, oh, it's got a good rating, great cast. Farrelly Brothers, have not seen this. Yeah, it's like one of those cult comedies, I think. Probably one that probably didn't perform well in cinemas and then went on to get appreciation later on. I loved it so much. One that I didn't really love was one called King of New York. It's a movie that I hear everyone going on about all the time. Like, oh, it's so great. It's one of the greatest. IMDb has like a crazy rating on it.
7.6.
I don't think you pulled up the right one there.
No?
No.
Well, they got more than one.
Yeah, King of New York. It's got Christopher Walken. The fucking, I don't know, we'll try that. King of New York, Christopher Walken. I don't know what you're doing.
That one there.
Yeah, that's the one.
But that's not.
That's wrong.
No,
just click on it. Click on that. Just click on that.
Yeah, that'll still take you to the trailer, probably.
Yeah, and then it'll probably have a link to the movie over the side. There you go. Teaching old people to use technology up the top. Yeah, there you go.
There we go.
7.
Oh.
Look, it's a very good movie. This is Christopher Walken is like a gangster who gets out of jail, and when he gets out of jail, he decides he wants to take out like the whole underground criminal gangs in New York and essentially become like the king of New York. But he wants to do it so that he gets to take all this money and then give it to. He's like a modern day Robin Hood.
Oh, okay.
He takes the money and he puts it into building like this massive a hospital for the community. So he's doing this all for the community. Meanwhile, he's taking out the trash, but the cops are on his trail the whole time. Very good movie. Very good movie.
Yeah.
I understand why people love it, but I feel like I've seen this movie like how many? I don't know.
A million times.
It's a thing I've seen over and over again. I'm at the point now where I've seen so many movies that I get to movies that are like, everyone's like, this is so good. And I watch it, I'm like, it's underwhelming because I've seen it.
Yeah. Seen that storyline.
Yeah.
Good cast, though.
Yeah, it's a really good cast.
David Caruso, Lawrence
Yeah.
Fishburne, Wesley Snipes, Carlo Esposito,
Yeah.
Steve Buscemi.
Yeah. Giancarlo Esposito.
What did I say?
Carlo.
Oh, well.
You got to make the text bigger.
He probably
Every week
goes,
you do
he probably
this.
goes by Carlo.
Every week you do this. You read names wrong.
No, well, you know.
David Caruso is amazing in this. He's
the guy from, what was he on?
Wow! You put the sunglasses on. CSI Miami.
See it, that's right.
Makes a quip and then wow! You like podcasts? Well, this is a good I don't know. And they put the glasses on. I don't know where I'm going with that. But yeah, he's amazing in this. He's quite young in it. Christopher Walken's great. Lawrence Fishburne is just fucking amazing in everything he does. And the whole cast is great. It's a great film, but I just was underwhelmed that I've heard over the years how great, how amazing it is. And I'm like, I've seen this movie before.
Yeah, he was only 24.
I would recommend it. It's good and it's beautifully shot. It's almost like a neo-noir kind of thing, you know, really lit, really dark. It's like a modern noir. But it's just like I've seen it all before. We watched a few movies last week, and we got a couple in sort of older ones that have just been sitting in the collection, waiting to be watched for a while. We watched one called If I Stay. This is with Chloe Grace Moretz. I feel like we watched a few of her movies recently. Tom and Jerry, she was in. And then that's
where I saw her.
Yeah, and Shadow in the Cloud, which was that one that you fell
course.
asleep in and missed. Yeah. It was great. I loved it. But this one, If I Stay, this is another one of those like young person is dying movies.
Yeah.
And
car accident and all that sort of
yeah, she has the car accident. But it has like this fantasy element where she has like an out-of-body experience.
Yeah.
And she's like deciding whether she's actually going to stay or
go.
die. I thought that twist to it was quite nice. It was a good movie. Like easy, nice, easy movie to just watch.
It was better than I expected.
Yeah.
It's got a good rating.
But I say that like I don't try to detriment these kinds of movies because we watch them and we always like them.
Yeah, exactly.
We always really like them.
Yeah.
Clouds.
Yeah.
What was that one? The other one we watched recently. Like 6 feet apart. They're both
5 feet
apart, 6 feet apart. And then there was that. There's been so many of them. Yeah. But we always enjoy them. We always enjoy them. Yeah. But this one I really like. I quite liked because it had that like twist to it. Yeah. Like fantastical twist. Yeah. And it's all sort of out of order too. You get flashbacks to kind of understand what's.
It took a little while to sort of realise what was going and think, okay, well, this is that timeline, this is that timeline.
Yeah. Because she has there's all this stuff going on in her life, and then she has this accident, but it just keeps like doubling back to the past and to this future, this out of body experience, and then you're trying to piecing it all together. Yeah. It's obviously like she's reflecting back on what's led up to this car accident, and it's reflecting whether she wants to stay or go. I thought it was quite good. She's great. I think she's fantastic. She does like everything she does is very, very good. Yeah. This is an earlier film, like 2014. So that's how long it's just been sitting in the cupboard waiting to be watched. Another one was Premium Rush, which was Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Is it Levitt or Levitz? Levitt. I always get it wrong. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, I think, and Michael Shannon. That's the one, I think. No, maybe not. Yeah, that's the one.
2012.
Yeah, that's what I mean. We got so much shit in there that's been sitting there gathering dust for so long. Yeah. What did you think of this one?
I'm just trying to remember it.
This is the one where he's on the bike.
Oh, yeah, no, I didn't mind it.
Yeah.
That's right, yeah, he was the bike courier.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually didn't mind it.
He's given like a... He's a bike courier in New York.
That helps that I love New York. It's my favourite city outside of Melbourne.
Yeah. But he's like a bike courier, and he's given what's called the Premium Rush, which is like a late night delivery that has to go out express. So he's given this premium rush delivery of this letter, and he doesn't know what the letter is, but there's some other guy, Michael Shannon, who
wants that.
Wants it for
It's
some
a ticket.
reason.
It's a ticket. For something.
Yeah. And then he's like trying to track him down.
Yeah.
This is really, it's a quirky kind of film.
Yeah.
Really weird. I thought it was kind of, Michael Shannon is terrific, like anything he does.
Well, it's a good little twist with his character.
That's what I was going to say, yeah. Yeah. It's weird to see him in a movie like that, though. I don't know. But maybe because it's so early, I'm just so used to seeing his newer stuff. It's kind of weird to see him in that kind of film, but his character's very good.
His character's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that as I said, just that little twist with his character.
Yeah.
When you find out who he is and what he does for a living and stuff, and you go, oh, shit,
yeah,
okay.
So it's cool.
There's more to this.
Yeah. And Joseph Gordon-Levitt's always good.
Yeah.
Yeah. We watched 13 Hours, The Secret Soldiers of Benghazi.
That was good.
Very good.
Oh, I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, it gave me nightmares, actually. Yeah.
Doesn't take much.
No. This is like a war film, really full on, really graphic, sort of. It was like the, it's a true story of a US, it was like a US embassy, US Army sort of barrack sort of thing that was attacked in Benghazi.
Well, it was like a secret.
Yeah, it was like a secret.
Like
a base.
Like an agency.
Yeah. Like the Pentagon.
Spy agency sort of thing.
And then it gets attacked.
Yeah.
And then they have to fend off like this terrorist mob, and just explosions and rockets. They pull out the rockets, and this like elite team of soldiers has to go out like in the dead of night and spend all night fighting off these people and shit.
You got hundreds of people coming across the landscape at night, and they're just sitting up on top of the roof, just going bang, 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 popping them all off.
So good. Yeah, it gave me nightmares though. I had nightmares that there were terrorists blowing up. We were somewhere and there was terrorists. There was an explosion. I woke up like,
oh, really?
Yeah, I went back to sleep straight away. And I was like, oh, another one.
But I love John Krasinski.
He's great. Yeah. I don't know if I buy him as an action man though, to be honest.
I don't know.
I don't know. I just see Jim.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing.
Like I didn't like that Jack Ryan that he did. I thought it was boring. I don't know. He's good. He's a good actor.
Oh, I love him.
We followed that one up with with A Quiet Place, which was John Krasinski as well, and Emily Blunt. I'd seen this before. You hadn't watched it.
I hadn't seen it.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen it.
Thoughts on that one?
Yeah, actually, I did like it.
Yeah, you did?
I did like it, yeah. Emily Blunt's always good.
She's good
She's
too.
always good value.
Yeah.
And the young bloke in it too.
The young bloke.
The son.
But the kid. Didn't the son die in the first 5 minutes of the film?
Was he son?
Oh, no, there was another son, wasn't there?
Yeah.
I don't know who he is. It's right there. Down. God. Oh, what are you doing?
I'm going back to the listing. There we go.
That's the listing for 13 hours.
Yeah.
Back. Yeah,
what am I looking? What are you talking about? Oh, no.
Quiet Place.
Quiet Place.
Oh, my God. There, right there.
Don't give me technology.
Right there. A Quiet Place. Fucking hell.
Don't give me a computer.
Oh. God, you spent your whole life working on a computer.
Yeah, Noah Jupe. Australian.
Yeah,
Australian,
that's right. Yeah, it was too.
kid.
Yeah, of course.
He was fantastic.
Yeah, it's very good.
Really liked him.
It's like there's 16 lines of dialogue in the whole film.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy. Or subtitles. Had to get you out of your comfort zone so we can finally tackle Parasite.
Yeah, fair enough.
No, I actually completely forgot that it was like that, though.
It's just this young Noah. Like, what is he? He's only about 14 now or something, or 12 or something. He's only about 11 or 12 in this. But just the fact that he had to speak with expression.
Are you sure you're not thinking about that other film?
No.
The one with Angelina Jolie?
Yeah, that kid was fantastic as well.
Just double checking, because sometimes you do get your films mixed up.
Oh, all the time. Sometimes. All the time. No. He was the same.
Very good. Yeah.
Like he had to, because he wasn't allowed, they weren't allowed to make noise and they couldn't speak and all those sorts of things.
Yeah,
so everything had to be expressive, like. He was great.
No,
he's Australian too, isn't he?
Yeah, he is, I think. Well, that kid in the Angelina Jolie film is Australian. Or maybe he's not.
Not sure. I thought he was.
No, I don't think he is. Again, that's why I'm thinking. That's why I thought you might have been getting confused. Oh, because he's the kid that was in Ford v Ferrari.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he's not an Aussie.
That's what I thought.
No.
So you got that mixed up a little bit.
Well, yeah, just where he came from, but not his character in this film though.
Anyway, so yeah, that was
just for a change.
Yeah, so that was good. I enjoyed it. I actually liked it more the second time, to be honest. Maybe because it was in here with the surround, and last time I just watched it on TV, I think. So yeah, it's good.
That was really good.
DC movies, my little cartoons I've been watching. Trying to get through like the Superman ones, the Batman ones, and all that shit.
Got to admire your stamina on that shit.
I know. Wow. There's like 30.
I watched 2 of them and I think, I've seen them all now.
They're all a bit different, but some of them are a bit same. I didn't watch any this week. Just didn't have time this week.
You slack ass.
I know we've been too busy watching For All Mankind TV.
It's
so good. It's got really good in season 2.
Really enjoy that, yeah.
We've been watching that till like 12:30, 1 o'clock every night, and there's no time for anything else.
No.
Go to bed.
And get up. Can't do anything the rest of the day. Rest of the following day because I'm too tired.
Sleep in, yeah, no, that's probably half my problem too. Yeah, no, it's so good. Season 2 of that is amazing. I keep saying to people, Apple TV is like, I think it's my favourite streaming platform.
Yeah.
The stuff on
what's the problem with it?
The problem is that you can't find the shit.
Yeah.
You can't find stuff on it. It's really hard to find stuff on there.
You got to know what you're looking for.
Yeah.
If you don't know what you're looking, it's like Netflix and stuff. You don't need to.
It's there.
You just go looking for stuff and you find shit easily.
Problem I think is that because it's this Apple TV thing where it's not only the Apple TV Plus. Now there's 2 separate things: Apple TV and Apple TV Plus. Apple TV is the service where you can buy, rent, and stream films. Yeah. So you pay for them, or you can redeem your digital codes and shit through your Apple TV. Mm-hmm. Apple TV Plus is all of their original content. Right. However, they blend both services together, and it's really difficult to find the original content. Mm-hmm. And I feel like they almost they put the paid content above the original stuff, and it's just difficult. I feel like I've gone through the whole thing like how many times trying to find new shows. And I thought I've found everything. And then someone the other day goes, have you watched this one? I'm like, I've never even heard of it. And I check it out, I'm like, that looks great. Yeah. And someone else is like, what about this one? I'm like, I hadn't even found that one yet either. And I actually had a couple of people say, yeah, I really love it, but it's hard to find stuff on there. Yeah. That's the problem. And they don't advertise enough. I think that's a big problem as well. You rarely see advertising for it.
Well, you like on TV and stuff, and even on like Foxtel and stuff, you see ads for Netflix shows all the time.
The only thing I think I've seen them advertising probably when they first launched with like that morning show. And then I think I've seen a few ads for Ted Lasso only because that's become quite a little cult thing. Yep. But nothing else. Like I go on there, I'm like, there's this limited series with Chris Evans in it. Like this limited, drama limited series.
Saw that.
Yeah. Well, you didn't see it.
No. I saw,
Yeah.
Saw that it was
it's been on our list for ages.
I think I've seen an ad, 1 or 2 ads for that.
I don't know. I'd never heard of it until I saw it on this.
Yeah, no, I've seen a couple of ads for that.
Don't know about that.
Yeah, I have.
Because it's old. That's about a year old. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying I'm confused. Like I was like, I never heard of this. Or
is there another Chris Evans one?
Maybe. I don't know.
Can't remember.
Anyway, like that's been on there for like a year apparently, and yeah. So anyway, we've got a you've done it this week.
We've got it spot on. So.
Deadwood update.
Yep.
Yeah, we watched Deadwood this week.
Sam, we've done another one.
We did another one. One ep.
Did another one.
I was disappointed.
Well, we say it every week, don't we? Like you get one good episode. Yeah. So the one we watched last week was a good episode. Yeah. And then we get to this one and it's just same old boring shit again. So you get a good one and then a couple of bad ones. Then you get a good one and a couple of bad ones.
Yeah. Well, how many?
Not they're bad. They're just...
Well, they're really boring.
Really slow.
I would say it's bad. It's bad. It's such a boring show.
Yeah, I can understand why it was cut.
Yeah. How many have we got left now? Well, we said...
I don't know. What was that episode? 7 we watched or something?
Well, we said it would take us to episode 40 with 1 week in between to finish the lot plus the movie. And with 20, 32, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. So we got We must have.
It was only 40 if we delayed the
Yeah, that's what I'm
thing for a
saying.
week.
So we've got 6 episodes in the movie.
So what must have been episode 6 we watched this week?
Yeah. 4?
No, they're 12 episode seasons.
Are they?
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, yeah, there you
Pretty
go.
sure they're 12 episodes.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Yeah, so we're nearly there, halfway through that season then, plus the movie. And then that's it, thank God. Move on.
I had an idea what we can watch next.
What?
After Deadwood.
Yeah.
Mad Men.
Oh, yeah, that's another one that's the same, isn't it?
Yeah.
We started it,
We
stopped it.
We started that, stopped it, started it, stopped it.
But I remember actually really liking it.
I think
we just...
Weren't you still in high school?
I was
when that
studying at the
started?
time. No, not when it started. When we started watching it. I was studying and there was a bunch of shows that we were watching at the time and just stopped watching.
That and another one was the funeral. They were in the funeral part. Are they in the funeral part?
No, that's a bit earlier than that. I never
was
watched
it?
any of that. Once
What was it
the
called?
fucking
6 Feet Under.
6 Feet Under. There's a few things around that
Justified.
time. Justified, I think, was about the
There's
same
another
time
one.
as well. But I think I vaguely remember like doing homework while we were all watching Mad Men. I reckon you got really quite deep into the show, and I don't remember any of it.
I'm pretty sure I did the full first season.
Oh, there was more than that. You were seasons deep.
I reckon it was about. I was into the third season.
Yeah, I reckon. I remember you watching it and I'm doing homework. I remember I watched the full first season, loved it, and then I had so much work to do at the time, and I remember it being on, and I'm working away, and then I just wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
And then we just stopped watching it.
But I loved it when I was watching it because I love that period of time.
Yeah, I think I'll like it. I don't think it'll be as much of a chore to get through it as Deadwood, I'm hoping.
It can be a bit draining.
Yeah, maybe. But I really like John Hamm.
Yeah, but I like all that. You know, I was set in an agency, agency because that's what I worked in and stuff.
Yeah.
So it was good to see that and see how it used to be done before.
Yeah.
Well, not long before I was in it, but
yeah. Okay, that'll be the next one then. Mad Men.
yeah. I only thought about. It's funny because I woke up a couple of days ago thinking, oh shit, we're going to do Mad Men.
I don't know how long did that last. 6 seasons or something.
Oh, could have been more than
It
that.
went for ages. It was one of those shows that had like the. Remember after the writers' strike, a bunch of TV shows had like half seasons for years.
Yeah, that's right.
That became a thing, and I think people got pissed off with it after a while. But because of that writers' strike, a bunch of shows got cut halfway through their season and then had to return for the second half of that season. But it just stuck around. It became like you've searched the wrong thing again. God, Mad Men, 2 words. It gives it away when there's no picture there and no cast.
But the stupid thing is that one that I pulled up
Yeah.
was the same year as that.
Yeah, well, but pulled it up because you typed it as 1 word.
Yeah.
There you go. That's better. 8-6.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I reckon that can be the next.
How many seasons? Let's have a look.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because this did, as I was saying, after that writer's strike, you got to go back again. God. You've gone, what are you doing? Jeez. Fucking hell.
I'm having a shocker.
Scroll down.
Episode guide.
There you go. Fucking hell. Anyway, so 7 seasons. And that was a half. That had 2 halves that season. As I was saying, after the writers' strike, all the shows got cut in half, and then it returned for like season 3, part 2, and then it just became like a standard thing that they did for years.
And they were selling them on DVD and Blu-ray as half seasons.
Season 1 or season 5, part 1, and then you get season 5, part 2 a year later.
I don't know if we bought any like that. I think we
we did.
There might have been one season.
No, definitely Mad Men, because I remember the 7th season being a 2-part thing, and that came out as 2 sets.
Oh, did it?
Entourage as well. They did from like season 4 onward. Almost every season was season 1, season part 1 and 2, and then of course, like 2 years later, they'd bring out the complete set, complete season. Anyway, that could be a good idea.
Yeah, I thought, just woke up the other morning and for some reason thought Mad Men. I thought, maybe that can be the next one.
Wow, there you go. We got our intro done.
That'll take forever to get through.
How many episodes? I reckon we'll get more than 1 done in a night on that, though.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to watch. How many episodes are there?
How long is it? Is that a 45-minute show?
Something like that, yeah.
Man, it's just under the
92 episodes.
Yeah, how long is it? 47 minutes. So they're short.
Yeah.
I think it's a network show as opposed to a cable, or was it Showtime? I don't know. Anyway, it's better. That's easier than the 60-minute fucking Deadwood episodes. That's the killer. And trying to get more than one of them done in a night, let alone in a week, is hard. Anyway, 42 minutes in, and we got through our intro and our what we've watched.
Woohoo! Tim will be happy.
Tim will be happy. Mate, no, Tim won't be happy. Tim loves
that's Jackson that hates it, doesn't it?
Tim loves the rambling.
I reckon Tim should just lean over and just reach across the desk and give Jackson a smack on the head for that.
Yeah, agree. Do it, Tim. Do it.
Yep.
Thanks.
Wake him up.
Thank you, Tim. Well, we do got to talk about one other movie, though, that we did see last week. This has just come out. It's available to go and see in cinemas now if you're... Actually, I think it's in cinemas anywhere other than places where cinemas are closed. It's in cinemas here in Australia. It's in cinemas in the US. It's also on HBO Max in the US. It's called Those Who Wish Me Dead. This one stars Angelina Jolie. It also stars John Bernthal. It also stars...
Aidan Gillen.
Aidan Gillen, who's great.
Nicholas Hoult.
Nicholas Hoult, that's what I'm thinking of. And a slew of other great people.
Tyler Perry.
Yeah, briefly.
Yeah, for about...
He's in one scene.
a minute and a half.
No spoilers. Well, maybe not really like a big spoiler, but he's in it for like a minute. And he's in the trailer. I watched the trailer the other day. He's in the trailer. Tyler Perry. Yes, he's in like one scene.
Yep.
What a joke. Yeah, so I really loved it. This is written and directed by Taylor Sheridan, who did Wind River, which was that incredible film with Elizabeth Olsen and Jeremy Renner. Remember in the ice?
Oh, yeah.
She's like, they're cops. She's a cop. Is he a cop? They're both cops.
Is he FBI or something?
Something like that. And maybe she's FBI.
Hunting down
maybe
a killer.
He's the local cop. Yeah, I don't even know if he is a cop. But then they bring the FBI in.
Was he a tracker, maybe?
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. And then Elizabeth Olsen is the cop. Yeah. That's so good.
Yeah.
Taylor Sheridan also did Yellowstone. He's one of the co-creators of Yellowstone, and I believe has written most of it and has directed a few episodes too. So I really like his stuff. He wrote Sicario as well.
Yeah,
he's incredible. He's become one of my favorites of the last year or so. He's rapidly become one of my favorites.
I was really enjoying it.
I loved this movie.
And this is the one with the kid in it too.
Yeah.
The other one with the kid.
Now, we tried to talk about...
That's the Aussie kid.
Yeah, he is the Aussie kid.
Yeah.
He
was brilliant in it.
So good. He's very good.
Yeah, he's got a huge future, I think.
Absolutely. He outshone everyone in this film.
Yeah.
Very good.
Brilliant.
Even Angelina is fantastic in this.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Angelina fan, but that was really
very good. She doesn't do a lot of really good movies. I don't know how many movies I've seen of hers that I can say is
I don't even know if I've seen Tomb Raider.
I think you've seen Tomb Raider at least. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure you've seen the Tomb Raiders. They're not very memorable.
Mr. and Mrs.
Smith was quite good, the one with Brad Pitt. Maleficent, I like.
Yeah.
Not your kind of thing. I can't even really think of anything else. Gone in 60 Seconds, she's in.
Oh, yeah.
She's your favourite.
Yeah, one of my
She's
favorites.
She's good. But she's fantastic in this. I think this is probably her best role, her best performance. I really liked Nicholas Hoult in this as a bad guy.
Yeah, he's got a real sinister streak about him.
Yeah, I liked it. I don't know if I've ever really seen him in a role like this. So good. But this has been getting mixed reaction. What's the rating on this? Now that it is open.
Only a 6.
Yeah. I don't know what the Rotten Tomatoes is either. Check that out. Because I know this had really mixed reactions. The original embargo date was like the 11th, and then they pushed it to the 13th, which is day of release. And that's always quite a bad sign if a studio pushes the embargo date to day of release, because that usually means it's had a bad reception and they want to squash that bad reception for as long as they can. So they release all the reviews on morning of release. I really loved it. I've heard from a couple of people who really loved it, and then there are people who are like, it's average. I thought it was great. It's like a real 90s kind of thing. You had it up. Oh, no,
60.
this is the Rotten Tomatoes search engine is so crap.
Yeah, it's bad.
60%. So that's 66. So
66.
It's a fresh. It's on a like a fairly
So
decent.
that's about the same as IMDb.
Yeah. I really liked it. I thought it was great. It's like a throwback to like those 90s thrillers.
Mm.
So this kid is like, he witnesses the murder while his father gets murdered by mobsters, and then he goes on the run, and she's a survival expert.
A firefighter.
He's a firefighter and survival expert.
Yep.
And she has to save him and try and get him back to town to safety. Meanwhile, the killers who killed his father are after them.
Or after him.
Yeah, after the kid to kill the kid.
Yeah.
And then there's a big bushfire, or what would they call it? A forest fire, as they call it in America, and that's closing in on everyone.
Yeah.
So they have
it was Nicholas Hoult that started the fire.
That's a spoiler, though.
Oh, well.
That's why I didn't want to say it.
Oh, okay. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. It's not really that much of a spoiler.
No.
They light the fire to kill the kid. Anyway, the
flush him out, basically.
The fire's closing on everyone. That happens within the first 15 minutes of the film.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's very good. I loved it. I thought it was very good.
I enjoyed it.
My kind of movie.
I did enjoy it.
Where you got the cops, you got the cop. It's John Bernthal as the cop, so good. You've got the killers, and they're on the run. It's thrillers, some drama, some great action shit, explosions, like gritty cop drama from the 90s. Fucking love that kind of shit.
Yeah, it was good.
I love it. I really liked it.
And what was the other guy's name? The other
Aidan Gillen.
Was it Aidan Gillen?
He's the other
gangster?
bad guy. Yeah. He's so good too.
Yeah, he was good.
He's amazing. Yeah, it's a really whole cast is fantastic.
Yeah, Nicholas Hoult as the main antagonist.
Yeah, so good, man.
He was good.
Yeah. Anyway, check this one out. I did a full review of this on my YouTube channel. You can go and check that one out if you like. But otherwise, I highly recommend it. I thought it was very good.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah. Another thing we did this week, we checked out the Disney exhibition over at the ACMI, the Australian Centre for the Moving Image.
Yep.
Here in Melbourne, at Federation Square. I love this place. I've said it over and over again. I've seen 10 exhibitions there in my life.
At all?
Yeah, but they only do like one a
they
year,
don't do many,
like one major one every year, and then some years you don't
go. Last for 6 months. Or something.
Yeah. Tim Burton, Martin Scorsese. Stanley Kubrick. That was like the first big one. We got kicked out of that for taking pictures.
That's right. Yeah.
And then they did a Disney one 10 years ago. They've done Aardman. They've done DreamWorks.
The Aardman one I really liked.
Aardman's the biggest one they've ever done.
Yeah.
More people went to that than any of these other ones. I was so shocked to find that out.
Did you even got information on your book yet? Have you?
No, I was just wondering about that actually. It'll be fine. She said it'll go out in a couple of days. So
okay.
I ordered a book at the store.
The
Aardman book because
reminded me.
Because every time I go to one of these, I buy the guide, the exhibition guide, and for some reason I didn't buy the Aardman one. So I went in there; they still had copies of it, but she said it was in a place that was a bit difficult to get. So I ordered one, and they're going to send it. I don't think I'll find it. I think it'll just rock up on the doorstep.
Okay,
but that was like what, Tuesday, Wednesday?
Yeah,
it'll take it. She said it'll take a few days to send out.
Yeah,
it'll get here. It'll get here.
And this current one, they're not doing a book, are they?
No, not doing a book for this Disney one because because they wanted to do one. She said they'd started to work on one, and they had planned to do one, and I think the lead times for the printing of the books, because all the printing presses are all just completely
all over the place.
backed up at the moment, so they wouldn't have been ready in time, sadly. So, but it was a really fantastic exhibition. It's called the Magic of Disney Animation. I always got to say the art of Disney Animation, but it's the magic of Disney Animation. It's got 500 pieces of artwork, and it's been procured from the 65 million piece archive collection at Disney.
Jesus.
Crazy. I was complete.
How do they pick 500 pieces out of that?
Well, a couple of pieces, I think, were in this one, were in the last one. So I wonder if they have like a section of stuff where they're like, oh, this is the stuff we tour.
Yeah.
Or we put in exhibitions,
you would think
probably,
so. You'd think so.
But there's great stuff. It's like artwork, concept art, original sketches from Steamboat Willie, like almost 100-year-old piece of art, or 92-year-old piece of art, but still. The original Ub Iwerks drawings. Iwerks. Oob, I don't know where that come from. It goes from Mickey Mouse to Raya and the Last Dragon. It's the first exhibition anywhere in the world to have artwork from Raya. So there's like sketches, concept art. There's maquettes, like what do you call them?
Sculptures.
The sculptures, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's so really good. Go and check it out. And there's a section for almost every movie. A few movies get brushed over a little bit, particularly ones from like the Dark Age of Disney animation. It kind of jumps from The Jungle Book to The Little Mermaid, so it skips everything in between, like what's it called, like Fox and the Hound and Robin Hood and all those, and the Black Cauldron, all those kind of movies, and then the Rescuers, and goes straight to The Little Mermaid. That's the stuff people want to see anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's fine, and you can't get everything in there.
But it's good. It's good to see some of those sketches and stuff, and you just realise how good these people were as artists.
Yeah.
And some of the the matte paintings and stuff, and you look at some of those, and they're all hand painted.
Yeah.
And just the intricate brushwork, was just mind boggling.
It's crazy. Well, again, you got to remember these people were like classically trained artists who were
exactly
inventing the medium of animation. So a lot of the Sleeping Beauty artwork, they hired this guy to come in called Ivan Derl, who was a Renaissance painter, painted in the Renaissance style, and wanted that style, brought into animation, and that's why that film is so visually so stunning, because you've got this guy who is actually Renaissance artist, crazy stuff. So there's a lot of work from Sleeping Beauty there, which I thought was amazing. I think it's like the most visually gorgeous of the Disney films. And the character work by Mark Davis, who did all the female characters Maleficent. So you had like the original Maleficent draw. It's just so good.
Yeah.
Fantasia. I was like,
the Fantasia stuff was beautiful, wasn't it?
Just like the paintings and stuff, all the concept paintings. Amazing.
So what year was that? That was
1941. I think it came out. It's one of those weird ones where it premiered one year, but then actually came out the next. Yeah, 1940. But I think, it released in 41, but the premiere was 1940.
Right.
It's one of those weird ones. Yes, it didn't come out until late 41, but the premiere was like late 40. A few movies like that. Anyway.
But that was beautiful.
So
stuff.
good,
That was beautiful.
And then, of course, there's the modern stuff too. You've got the digital artwork where they've printed up huge, like Big Hero 6 and Frozen.
Yeah.
Moana, Raya, and that's all been printed up, and that's just stunning.
The Moana stuff. Wow.
Yeah.
That was it Moana, they had that large colour palette?
Oh no, that was Pocahontas.
Yeah. Oh, that was beautiful.
So good, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had like a colorway, sort of like a color board, like storyboard thing for Pocahontas. Stunning, amazing.
And that little room they had.
Oh yeah, like a color room.
Yeah,
they had the TV playing, and then there's like all these lights that correspond with the lights on the TV. There's like a big mirror in there, and that's crazy. Really good.
So the background would light up the same color as what was on the screen and stuff as it happened. It was fantastic.
So there's a bit of some interactive stuff with it. So if you're in Melbourne, if you're in Australia, come and check it out.
Yeah,
if you can get here safely.
Well, as long as you don't have fucking COVID.
Yeah, exactly right.
If you got COVID, stay
out of here. Yeah. But it's good. They planned this during the pandemic, so they were lucky.
Well, they had time in their hands.
Exactly right. But it has been. It's been. What's the word? I was going to say procured. That's not the word I'm looking for.
No.
Curated. That's the word. Yeah, it's been curated by the team at Disney Archives over in the States.
Right.
So
is it the first place that this exhibition is?
I don't think so. I have a feeling it's a variant of one that's been around.
Right.
There's one apparently in Tokyo, and I think it might be the same one.
Right.
Maybe has a different name. Sometimes they travel with different names, but it's the same exhibit. Right. But this is the first one that has the Raya artwork added into it.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, very good. I thought it was great. So it's open until October. I think it's open now. It's open until like late October, 17th or something of October.
Yeah, so if anyone comes to Melbourne, make a point of going and have a look.
It's only $25 for an adult.
Pretty cheap.
I'll be going back. I should say thank you to the amazing team over at Disney for getting me into a preview of it, which was awesome. I was able to film and stuff, take pictures. So I've got a little video up on YouTube as well.
Yeah.
If you want to go and check that out, there's a little video, like a 9-minute video I did, just sort of gives you an idea of a preview tour thing of it.
Yeah, it's good.
Check it out, man. And
Have a look at it.
And if you're overseas, just check out my video. You'll get a good idea of what's there. Hey, you want to play a game of Shite or All Right?
You want?
Oh, hang on. We're going to play. Oh, fuck.
Let's
Hey,
start that again.
say again. Hey, you want to play?
Hang on.
Go again. Hey, you want to play a round of Shite or All Right?
All right.
Why not?
Let's do it.
Okay.
All right. So Shite.
Oh, you go on. Go on.
No, what are you going to say?
No, I was going to say you.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So Shite or All Right, if you haven't been listening, if this is like your first episode, Shite or All Right is this brilliant game that we play. We think it's brilliant.
No, it's brilliant. Anything on this fucking show is brilliant.
Well, yeah, true. It's this game that we play. Now, IMDb, whenever you've got the listing for IMDb, every listing has its own unique catalog number, which comes at the end of the URL. It's like 7 numbers, and it's sort of like generated by the order of the title. Anyway, there's a catalog number.
Yeah.
Every title. So we go in and we make up a random catalog number and we pull up a couple of just random movies, usually because there's so many movies out there, usually you're going to pull up something that's really fucking obscure.
Yep.
Okay, so what we have to do is we have to read each other. We take it in turns. We'll do 2 rounds each where we read each other the synopsis for this film. And we have to guess whether we think the movie is shite or...
All right.
Yeah. Now, we judge this based on the rating on IMDb. We have always figured that movies with less than a 5-star is usually going to be a pretty trashy film. Anything over a 6 is usually quite good. So
Is watchable.
is watchable.
Yeah.
So
anything below 6, we think twice about buying.
yeah. So anything from 0 to 5.9 is shite. Anything that is 6 and up.
All right.
And we just got to see. Now, we're not allowed to read character names. We're not allowed to read actors.
No.
Well, character names, sometimes you can get away with if it's generic.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just accidentally read
John Smith.
Yeah. But no actors, no year, any of that stuff. Just the plot. We can have 1 assist in 1 round. We don't usually take it up, but we can take an assist, which is where we ask who's in the film. But you only get that once a game. Anyway, okay, so who's going first?
I think I went first last time.
I think you did, so I'll go first here. Yep. Alrighty. So I'll pull up my 2. Okay, firstly, here we go. In a post-apocalyptic world, pardon me. In a post-apocalyptic world, she aids 2 brothers' quest to rescue their kidnapped sister. Along the way, they battle weird creatures before standing against the odds to defeat the evil Norks.
Oh, God. It's a post-apocalyptic film,
Yeah, post-apocalyptic world.
which I can quite enjoy.
She aids 2 brothers' quest to rescue their kidnapped sister. Along the way, they battle weird creatures before standing against the odds to defeat the evil Norks.
No, it's going to be shite.
You reckon?
I reckon that's shite.
Yeah, locking it in?
Locking in shite.
Hey. Yeah, it's a shite. It's called, pardon me, it's called She. So I accidentally read the title of the film in there.
I didn't.
Well, in a post-apocalyptic world, she aids 2 brothers. So the character's name's obviously She. Yeah. And the film's called She. It's made in 1984. And it's got a 4.8.
That's shite.
There's definitely a shite.
That is shite.
I don't even know who these people are. Sandal Bergman, David Goss, Gordon Mitchell, David Brandon, don't know, Gregory Snegoff. It's like
idea.
It's like one of those mid 1980s like weird fantasy kind of post-apocalyptic things that people love, like cult film.
Looks like a poster from bloody Thunderdome or something.
Yeah, that's what I mean, like Thunderdome, like She-Ra. What's that? Arnold Schwarzenegger one, Conan the Barbarian. All that. It looks like one of those kind of films.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, there you go.
All right, you ready for your first one?
Yes.
When their ex-husband, say his name? Yeah, I can say his name. When their ex-husband Raymond winds up murdered, Carol and Sydney set out to find his killer and eventually decide to run the detective agency Raymond has left behind.
It's a real dark episode of Everybody Loves Raymond.
Really? So when their ex-husband Raymond winds up murdered, Carol and Sydney set out to find his killer, eventually decide to run the detective agency Raymond has left them.
It sounds like it could almost be like a comedy, like a farce. Don't tell me.
I'm not going to.
It sounds like it could be like a noir, like maybe a film noir that was made in like the 80s-ish, but it also does sound like it could be a bit of a farce, a bit of a comedy, a spoof. I'm going to say that I think it might be all right. I think it might be like something that's got like a 6 or something. Yeah, I'm going to say it's all right. Yeah, I'll lock in all right.
Drum roll.
All right, all right.
Awesome.
It's called Partners in Crime.
Oh.
It's got a 6.3.
Ooh.
Runs for 1 hour.
1 hour? So that's a short, probably.
1 hour, 0 minutes, it says.
It's not relevant anyway, the runtime.
It's actually a TV series.
Oh, so you've read a TV episode.
No, that's the synopsis for the series.
Oh, the series. That's all right. Okay, that's all right.
And it stars Linda Carter, Lonnie Anderson.
What's it called? Oh, you said Partners in Crime.
Partners in Crime, yeah.
Oh, Linda Carter, right.
And got a 6.3.
Yeah? You always give me the runtime instead of the year.
84. Oh. So you're right.
Yeah, mid-80s. So it's like it'll be like 80s. A neo-noir sort of. Is it like a comedy?
No, it's a crime drama.
So it's a crime drama. I think I've heard of it. I don't know, maybe. I feel like it's going to be sort of like a noirish kind of... Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, well, I got one.
Oh, David Carradine in it too.
Oh. All right. You want another one?
Yep.
All righty. Okay. A woman is abused physically and mentally by her husband, a government employee, for over a decade. Finally, she finds the courage to get away from him, but the struggle isn't over yet.
Sounds like about 40 films we've watched.
I was going to say, this sounds like something I watched recently. It's not it, but it sounds like it. Woman is abused physically and mentally by her husband, a government employee, for over a decade. Finally, she finds the courage to get away from him, but the struggle isn't over. You, of course, do have a assist that you can use if you'd like to know who's in it.
Yeah, give me...
You have got in here the lead actress in this is Lindsay Wagner, who was the Bionic Woman.
Yep.
You've got Michael Nouri. I know the name that I can't. Let me look. Yeah, you do. You do know him. You do know him.
Yeah.
I'll let you see a picture of the guy.
Oh yeah, I know who it is.
So you know him.
Yep.
He's just in stuff. It's also got Georgian Johnson, who don't really recognise. So anyway, there you go.
That sounds all right to me.
Sounds all right?
It sounds like a bit
you
of
lock it in?
Crime drama sort of thing. Yeah, lock that in. Piece of shite.
Well, not only just. I've got a 5.8. It's a television movie, of course, with Lindsay Wagner in it. Well, I watched a Lindsay Wagner TV movie recently because they put one out. Imprint brought one out on Blu-ray.
What was it?
The two worlds of Jenny Logan. I talked about it on the podcast a couple of weeks ago. It's pretty average. It was all right. Yeah, TV movie. It's called Shattered Dreams. It was released in 1990. I was going to say this sounds really very much like the Julia Roberts movie I watched recently. I can't remember the name of it now, but I watched it a few weeks ago. Julia Roberts, she's like an abusive relationship and then escapes and he comes after him. Yeah, she's very young.
Yeah,
oh no.
Can't remember the name.
Something Enemy or Sleeping with the Enemy.
Yep.
Yeah, it sounds very similar. Anyway, there you go.
Your next one?
Yep. Is this the one that's been sent in?
No, this is not the one that's sent in. I'll give you that.
Oh, so you're going to give me 3 today?
Well, I'll give you my second one, then you can have the...
Oh, I thought we were just
going
to...
that was sent in.
All right.
Here we go. It is A stray cat
Yep.
is the linking element of three tales of suspense and horror.
Oh. A stray cat.
What a
A stray cat is
stray cat is the linking element of three tales of suspense and horror.
Oh. Give me. Have I asked you for an assist yet? I
No,
don't
you
think
haven't.
I have. I'll take my assist, please.
So you want the
actors in it,
Drew
yeah.
Barrymore,
Oh.
James Woods,
Oh, I know it.
and Alan King.
I know it. It's called Cat's Eye.
Yes.
Yeah, it's Stephen King. It's a Stephen King film.
Stephen King.
But I don't know if it's Shite or right. I feel like it's like a cult film that probably has a crappy rating, but people love because it's a cult film. Or it could be like a 6. Shit. It did come out on Blu-ray a while ago, and I didn't pick it up, and it's gone out of print now. If anyone knows where I can get it, well, I might not when I find out the rating. So there's probably a reason I didn't buy it. I'm going to say Shite.
So you're looking in Shite?
Yeah, I think it's probably like a good like cult film, but it's probably got a Shite rating, yeah.
All right.
6.3.
Oh, there you go.
Goes through an hour 34.
Oh,
Comedy horror.
comedy horror. She's very
Drew
young.
Barrymore, it's gotta
Is she
be.
young in that? What's
Well,
the-
she'd have to be. It was 85.
Yeah, she did like a few of those like horror kind of
So
films
she would have been
when she was a
20.
kid.
At 20 odd.
Yeah. Oh, shit. I'm disappointed I didn't pick that one up now.
Yeah.
If anyone knows where I can get it. I'm sure like Madman or Umbrella or someone released that. Maybe Shock brought that one out a few years ago and I missed it. I didn't get to pick it up. Oh, there you
Okay,
go.
so now you've had. If anyone else wants to do this, this will be a bit of fun. We've had somebody send in because we've asked when we started doing the Shite, right? We said if anybody wants to get on and find a film, just send us the catalogue number and we'll use it.
We'll read it on the show.
So we've had one sent in by Anthony Fisher.
Yeah, wonderful Anthony.
Okay,
He's been
now
watching, listening, etc. for a long time.
Yep. Okay, so do you want the synopsis?
Yeah, go for it.
Story about a rapid deployment defence unit that is called into action whenever freedom is threatened.
Is that it?
No.
Oh.
Will I use a character's name? Yeah, I'll just say Ace.
Okay,
I'll call him Ace.
Right.
Ace is the leader of a Megaforce elite group of American soldiers who travel the world to fight evil. In this case, evil is represented by a third-rate dictator who they must blow to bits.
What the hell is this? Jeez, Anthony, what you done to me?
That's a good one, Anthony.
That
Well
is
done,
a
mate.
very good one. Oh, shit.
So, yeah, story about a rapid deployment defence unit that is called into action whenever freedom is threatened. Ace is the leader of a Megaforce elite group of American soldiers who travel the world to fight evil. In this case, evil is represented by a third-rate dictator who they must blow to bits.
Jeez, no idea, man. Well, I heard Ace. I thought, small soldiers, because I think he was Ace.
Oh,
no,
right,
Chip.
okay.
Chip, maybe. I can't remember. It's been years since I've
And
seen
it's not
small
Ace
soldiers.
Ventura.
No. Oh, shit. It sounds like it's either going to be like a cult, sort of like 80s, like shoot 'em up kind of thing, or it's going to be like one of those mockbuster films, one of those more recent, like where it's just over the top, really shitty, low budget, crappy, like they've done ones like Third Reich werewolves or shit like that. Could be that. I don't know. I'm going to say it's Shite.
So you're looking in
Yeah,
Shite?
I'm going to look in Shite. It has to be. Yeah. Oh, no. What is it?
It's called Megaforce.
Megaforce.
All right.
Yeah.
And it has in it Barry Bostwick.
Oh, another name.
Barry. I think he was in. Was he Brad in Rocky Horror? I think
Maybe, yeah.
I think he was Brad in Rocky Horror.
Right.
Yeah, he was, and he was in Spy Hard as well.
Oh, right.
And a couple of other actors you would know, Michael Beck and
Year.
82.
Yeah, so like an 80s
Yep.
shitty.
And rating was 3.7.
Fucking hell. Let me see a picture of this shit. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's like a mid-80s, like, fucking shit. Yeah, that's
Megaforce.
That's exactly what it's picturing. I want to see that.
That's a good one, Anthony.
That is very good, Anthony.
That's awesome.
If anyone has a Shite or right, send it in. Literally, just go to IMDb and just make up a random number. Or if you know just a fucking random movie, just send us in the URL.
But you can't type it into the search function on IMDb.
No, you got to
itself,
actually. No, you actually got to do it. You actually got to like. Just make up a random URL up the top in the browser. Or just, if you know a really shitty movie that you think, or a really good one.
Or one that's on the, it doesn't matter what it is.
Just a movie that you think will be maybe just put us to the
But
test.
the most obscure, the better.
Yeah, exactly right. Send them in. Send it to me in the email or Twitter or fucking wherever you want to get me.
Yeah.
Just do it. I think it's fun when we get some interaction.
And we'll give you a shout out and use it on the pod.
Exactly right. Now I was going to give you another one to even it out because eventually, I keep saying this every week. Eventually, I'll try and do like a tally board of who's whatever. But next time someone sends one in, I'll give that to you. Right, so it evens it out.
Yep. Fair enough.
Because I was just trying to find one, and sometimes it's a bit difficult.
Oh yeah, sometimes it takes a few hits till you find one.
Yeah. Talking about that was fun. So thanks
again, Anthony.
Thanks, Anthony, and thanks everybody for listening to another episode of Shite. All right. Fantastic. Now I did say we do like we like a little bit of interaction.
We love a bit of interaction.
Yeah.
In fact, we'll have to do a pod one day where we invite a few of the.
Yeah, with the patrons.
We've been talking about that.
I've been talking about it for ages.
Working out how to do it.
Sorry, patrons.
We'll do it soon.
I always say I'm going to do things and then I don't do it, but I'm thinking about doing it. It's just a matter of doing it, getting it done.
Yeah.
We had quite a bit of interaction this week where people kind of weighed in. We had a little bit of a debate last week on a couple of things, and people weighed in, whether it be on Instagram or Twitter or sent me emails or comments or whatever.
It was a good topic. We were talking about what we should consider classic cinema because it came to my attention recently that we are as far from the 1980s as the 1980s were from the 1940s. Yep.
So essentially it's been 40 years since 1980. Which really opens up this new can of worms about how people perceive cinema and what's considered classic cinema. So like for me, I could say Die Hard is a classic. It's a classic film.
Yep.
But I wouldn't consider it classic cinema. I don't think it belongs in that umbrella of classic cinema. Mm-hmm. Again, just semantics, and I think it's still confusing a few people.
Yeah, for sure.
But I can consider a movie classic. Oh, it's a classic film, but it's not classic cinema.
Yeah.
Anyway, I kind of asked. I said I'd like to hear from people, like particularly younger people. I mean, even people that are maybe like 10 years younger than me, like in their early 20s, how they perceive movies. Because I'm hearing some people like, I would consider movies from the 80s, 90s, maybe even early 2000s as classic cinema. So I was just kind of like, I want to know what people think about this. And I had quite a few people weigh in, actually. I've got Bobby Walsh wrote in. He said, I'm an 02 kid, and I consider 80s movies classics, but not really 90s, and definitely not early 2000s. Yeah?
Yep.
John the Movie Dude says, I would look at the golden age of cinema to maybe the very early 70s as classic cinema, which is kind of what I was saying last week. The 80s, 90s, and 2000s are separate things. They each have their own little quirks that make them special and different from each other, and this is coming from a kid born in the early 2000s. Fair enough. Mr. Rap Stevens says, I look at more recent movies like The Dark Knight and would call that a classic, so I reckon you can call 80s movies classic cinema if the film's good enough in your eyes.
Fair enough.
Yep.
I'd like to know what when he was born.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. The one that doesn't count, now this is huge. This is a massive thing.
That's the users.
The username is the one that doesn't count. It does count. All the opinions count. He says, or she says, when it comes to cataloguing films into eras, I look less to the actors in the films, which of course is still a perfectly valid way to look at this, but to look more at the technological advances. So this is kind of like what we were saying last week, that we kind of bunched them by like, Paul Newman's still at the heart of his game in the 70s. We could still consider that classic cinema.
Yeah. Because of him.
Because of
him.
But then I kind of considered this week, Robert Redford is still acting and still doing really good stuff. So that kind of almost throws that out a little bit, maybe.
Yeah.
So he or she says,
So maybe it's just a combination there.
Yeah, well, because then we did also talk about the technological aspects of it.
Yeah, that's right.
If you want to hear it, we fucking went on for like 30 minutes.
Yeah, that's right.
You can check it out on last week's pod. But we're throwing it over to the people at the moment. So anyway, the one that doesn't count, which does count, says, I would categorize them as vintage as the birth of cinema to the early 60s when colour films became dominant. Classic is the early 60s to 77. And modern classics is 77 to 99. And then modern is 99 to now. He says vintage is black and white, film was king. There's something about that era of cinema when there wasn't much colour that just feels so its own. And I feel that once you start and add colour in with these older films, it becomes a bit much for them to be considered basically the same.
Yep.
That's fair enough.
Very valid.
I chose to split the classic era in two. As much as I feel you could lump something like a Butch Cassidy with something like Back to the Future without there being much of a disconnect, but to ignore the complete and utter groundbreaking moment that is Star Wars, especially when I'm looking at these eras in terms of technological advancement, I feel it would be a mistake. So I made the choice to split the classics into pure classics and modern classics, with Star Wars marking the change. And then he says modern cinema is designated by the release of The Phantom Menace, which ushered in the modern age of visual effects. And he says he thinks that's what sets modern films apart from something like Die Hard, like 80s and 90s films, I suppose. He says, at the end of the day, these are just the ramblings of an overtired 16-year-old at 1 a.m, so make of that what you will.
Yeah.
Very, very good, very well-written, articulate answer there.
Yeah.
So thank you for that one.
Really good way to look at it.
That in.
That was a really good way to look at it.
And nice to see some young film fans
exactly.
weighing in like this too.
Yeah.
I see myself at that age probably saying something like
exactly
that.
Right. And knowing and just knowing what Butch Cassidy is. And
no, exactly right. That's great.
Back to the Future and stuff. So obviously got a good love of film and cinema and stuff. But no, that was a really good way to look at it, I think.
Yeah, I think that's really good.
And using Star Wars as the...
Yeah. Well, we kind of mentioned that last week, didn't we? We were like, no, that age of the blockbuster really... Yeah. That's why I look at like the classics goes up to the late 70s because you've got Star Wars and all those movies coming
Star Wars ushered in that whole new way of making films, and it was an incredibly regardless of what you think of the film. It was an incredibly groundbreaking film because of the way they had to make the film and what they had to create to be able to make the film.
Yeah. Pulp Serial also wrote in, another long-time listener and viewer of the channel.
Yep.
Says, this is how I break down the cinema timeline. Now, this is a guy that loves his classic stuff. He loves his classic, like, serials and all that kind of shit. So
I've probably had discussions with him over this before.
I have. Yeah, well, sort of. Yeah, I've talked to him about stuff like this quite a bit. Actually, I'm going to go on his podcast. I keep having to message him like, I'm so sorry, I've been so busy. We'll get it organised soon.
Yeah, exactly.
But it will happen, and I've said it now on this podcast, so it's going to happen.
Yep.
He does a couple of really great podcasts where he talks about classic movies and stuff, and I always love to support that stuff because there's not too many people out there who like to champion this stuff. So anyway, he says he considers 1890s to the 60s as classic film era, late 60s to 1980s as new Hollywood. Yeah, so that's when you get the ushering in of that next wave, which is the Paul Newmans and the Robert Redfords and Jane Fondas, etc. 1980 to present day is the modern era. And I think this is probably the one that I would go with the most.
Yeah.
I feel.
Yeah.
I feel like I always lump, like what he's saying here is the classic film era with New Hollywood. I always lump them into one. But it does make sense to break it up like that. Because you do have that classic, which is Bogarts and Bacalls and, Boris Karloff and all them. Early cinema, Charlie Chaplin. And then the new Hollywood is your Paul Newmans, etc. And then modern era, 1980s, where you got the Brat Pack coming in.
Yeah.
Pitt and Clooney and Roberts and all them.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, the new Hollywood you could probably take further into the 80s maybe.
Yeah, I reckon.
Probably 60s to 90s, I would think maybe.
Yeah, because I still feel like even though Robert Redford's still making movies now, I feel like that's like the height of their career where they're doing...
Yeah.
They're still at like that 80s where they're still doing really, really good movies.
Yeah.
Paul Newman and
did
all that.
Most of their stuff in the 60s and 70s.
60s, 70s. But then the 80s, they're still doing some really
good stuff.
And then
you got like, Clooney and Pitt and all those. They didn't really come in, they weren't really big until
to the 90s,
early 90s.
Early, mid-90s.
Yeah. So I'd probably stretch that.
Well,
Hollywood
then you have
through to
people
about the
like
90s.
You got to think about like Tom Cruise, Rob. What's his name?
Schneider.
Not Rob Schneider. No, Rob. Oh man, I read his book.
Yeah.
He was on Ally McBeal. Was he on Ally McBeal?
Yeah.
The West Wing.
West Wing.
Rob. Shit. No. Anyway, they have all started to come in the 1980s, that 80s period, because they were all quite young. And Matthew Broderick.
Probably mid 80s, because things like Risky Business. What was that? That was mid 80s.
80s, yeah, and Days of
And
Thunder,
Top Gun, and
all
that sort of stuff. So yeah, he's probably.
And then
right.
like your Ferris Bueller's, and it's just you could really lump cinema into the decades. Really, each decade is so.
Well, it's a generational thing.
Yeah, exactly.
When you think about it.
So again, at the end of the day, you're really just trying to slap a label on something. Rob. Fucking hell. It's doing my head in now. I have to look
He
it
had
up.
that bloody sex tape.
Yeah, he did too.
Didn't he?
Oh, my God. Rob Lowe.
Rob Lowe. That's, God.
Yeah.
How could we forget Rob
Lowe. There you go. Oh, I love him. I think he's great.
Oh, it's awesome.
I read his book. It was very good. Anyway, so people weighed in on that. We were also talking about The Simpsons last week, and I said that I think there are more shit episodes than good ones.
Well, yeah. Let's if you're looking at that, like
What?
in like the 80s and stuff, where Rob Lowe and all that stuff. What about Robert Downey?
Yeah, but that's that same wave. That's exactly the same wave of actor, because they all came up together.
But
Rob Lowe, Robert Downey Jr.,
But then
Tom Cruise.
he faded out because of all his legal issues and stuff, and then he came back with Iron Man and stuff like that. So does he fit into two eras?
It's about the same. But how many of these people kind of disappear and then come back?
Yeah, but not as dramatically as that. There's not many. When you think about it.
I don't know.
Because he had a massive falling out.
Yeah, I know. I don't know.
And he owned it. He owns it.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, but he did come up in, because they all came through together in the Outsiders, that film. Francis Ford Coppola had Robert Downey Jr., Rob Lowe, you had Tom Cruise, River Phoenix, all them were all coming in together as this group. Were they the Brat Pack?
I think they were, weren't they?
Yeah.
Pitt and...
No, see, not Brad Pitt and Clooney. That's a separate thing.
Yeah.
You have the Rat Pack, which is...
Yeah, I think you're right. I think they were known as the Brat Pack.
Rat Pack. I'm going to look it up. Because I know there was a name, Brat Pack. The Brat Pack, nickname given to a group of young Generation X actors who frequently appeared together. Emilio Estevez, Anthony Michael Hall, Rob Lowe, Andrew McCarthy, Demi Moore, Judd Nelson, Molly Ringwald, Ali Sheedy. Then you get like Tom Cruise, all that. Sort of came up together as well. Charlie Sheen.
Yeah.
So what was Clooney, Pitt, Pack? Because they had a name as well. Rat Pack? No, I don't know. Modern day Rat Pack. No, maybe they didn't actually have a... Yeah, and then you got Ben Affleck and Damon and all them.
I think they might have been compared to the Rat Pack because of Ocean's
11. That is probably it. Yeah. Anyway, let's move on from this because we banged on about it last week.
Yep.
The Simpsons, as I was saying, we mentioned last week because I think there's now more shit episodes than good ones.
Mm-hmm.
I probably watched maybe 15 seasons of it, and there's 32. I even think maybe the first 10 were great. 11, 12 were okay. 13 is where it starts to get really average. So I think there's more shit than good. So I pose the question, is The Simpsons a good show that went shit, which it was at one point, because it was a great show that went shit, but because now there's more shit episodes than good, does it now make the show a shit show that started really good? So I posed that last week, and we had a few people write in. Mr. Rap Steven says, I really enjoyed it as a kid, but over the years just stopped watching it less and less. I bet it's still funny, but those early seasons were just really memorable and enjoyable. Dino Blue says, the first 10 seasons are classics. The wheels started to come off in season 11 and 12. Rarely watch new episodes now. K-Fig Customs. I stopped watching when the episodes started getting bad, so it's all good to me. Callum George, who's my mate from over in the UK, says, I can't watch a newer episode without feeling disappointed. So really, this didn't really no one really addressed the question. It was just an excuse to just rag on The Simpsons.
Yeah.
But we did have one.
But it was I still think it was a brilliant show that's gone bad, because if it wasn't for The Simpsons, you wouldn't have.
I know, but
American Dad
throwing away
all
all
that
that, like how groundbreaking and stuff it is. You got to pose the question, as looking at the series as a whole, there is more shit than good.
Oh yeah.
So it just raises that interesting question. But anyway, Bobby Walsh wrote in. Now, Bobby wrote in for the last one as well. But he's right here, and he's actually addressed the question here, and I think quite a good way.
Yep.
He says, I don't think it can be considered a bad show that was good because all the main talent left years ago. I don't consider The Simpsons to be the same show as it was in the golden era of the series. To me, if your show completely changes most things about it, you've got to take that away from the past because it's not the same. It's the same way I don't consider Chuck Jones's Tom and Jerry to be classic Tom and Jerry, because without Joseph and William, Hanna-Barbera, it ain't comparable to the original, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So essentially you've got Tom and Jerry as broken down into a bunch of eras where different creatives took control of it. Hanna-Barbera were doing the original shorts, and then they stopped making them for a few years, and Chuck Jones came in and did a bunch of shorts, and then he stopped making them, and then they went on to various other Gene Deitch and various other animation houses, but they're all still considered part of that classic short series, even though they were all even just vastly different in writing style, animation style. They're all very different things, but they're still under that one umbrella of the classic Tom and Jerry shorts.
Yep.
So do we look at The Simpsons as a show that has the early years of The Simpsons is one series, and then the later stuff is a completely different thing altogether?
Oh, God. I don't know how you look at it.
Because if you look at the Flintstones was on TV for decades because they kept rebooting it as a different thing.
But they've never rebooted this.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, right, you had each series of the Flintstones shared that same continuity.
Yeah.
So it was like the one thing, but it was broken up into various series, spin-offs and the later years, all that whatever. So do you look at, even though The Simpsons was never rebooted, can you look at The Simpsons that way, where you go, this is the early seasons, this is the original show, and then this is a new show, but they've kept it all under the same banner because it's just easier than rebooting or doing a new revival or anything. Because so many times over the season, they have revamped it. They've gone from cell animation to digital animation. They've gone from 4:3 to widescreen. They've changed writing teams, et cetera, et cetera. Particularly in these later years, you've got cast members moving out. People have died and they've retired characters. You have political controversies. Characters have been ushered out of the show. It is a very different show at very different points. So can you break it up and go, this is one
era, that's another era, that's another era?
Yeah, probably. And then almost look at each era as its own individual kind of spin-off, but it was just never
announced as a spin-off.
It just continued. So now what happens a lot with comics is you will have like the golden era run of like Superman, which goes from like the 1930s, and then that goes up to the 60s or the 70s or whatever, and they stop the numbering. So they might stop it at like issue 1000, and then they do a reboot of Superman. They do a completely new run of Superman comics. They start again from number 1, and then they go up to 100 or something. And then this is like 10 years down the line, they go, let's go back to the original numbering. So then they go back and they do comic number 1001 and then just continue on from there. So they've gone back to the original.
Stupid,
right. So you've gone with the original numbering, which is inferring that it is part of the original run when it's not. It's like a reboot of it. They've just gone back to the original numbering. So can you look at something like The Simpsons as that?
Yeah, I reckon.
That's the way I like to look at it.
And how do you usher each out? Is it by writing teams or is it by... Because all the voice actors really haven't changed,
voice actors are the same. And every time a voice actor has passed away, they retire the character.
Yeah.
So like all of... like the Troy McClure... what's his name? Oh, shit. The guy that died, comedian, his wife shot him.
Yeah.
Have I blanked on him?
Oh, God, I can't think of his
Why
name.
are we blanking on the easiest things today? Troy McClure, actor. Oh, shit, Phil Hartman.
Phil Hartman, that's right.
So Phil Hartman died. They retired all his characters. We've had a few other people who've died and they've retired their characters over the
okay.
years. But it's always a very distinct shift when they change a writing team.
And I mean, I noticed as well when they went from 4.3 to 16.9, there was a definite change.
Absolutely,
there.
yeah.
Definite change in the style of the characters.
Yeah. And yeah, they've dumbed down the characters over the years. The jokes aren't as funny anymore. It's a complete
Well, they just
shell.
used the same jokes.
No, I don't even think it's that. I think it's just that it's just been dumbed down for a new audience. And they can't get away with what they got away with in the early shows, I think, now.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's just it's like this
The
common...
politically...
The political landscape has just changed. And you can't get away with stuff that you did in the late 80s and early 90s. And I feel like... I just feel like the show has been dumbed down. Like, any of the newer shows I've watched is just the storyline is Homer being dumb.
Yeah.
Homer fall downstairs, funny.
Yeah, exactly.
Homer crash car, funny. Whereas the original series were smart and clever.
Yeah.
And even now I've gone back and I've been rewatching the early ones. And someone who's older now, because I was a kid when I watched them over and over and over again.
So much
as a kid.
adult humour in it.
Yeah, but there's so much, the adult humour and the depth of the characters. I watch Homer Simpson now and I go, this guy is a fucking awful character. Like, this guy's an awful person.
Yeah.
He's a terrible father.
Yep.
He is rude.
He's
He's
drunk.
arrogant. And I would look at him now and I think, this guy's like the worst.
Yeah.
Whereas a kid, I'm like, this is so funny. This guy's just a dumbass.
Yeah.
Right. But I feel like, there's this heart to the character. And he has a love for his family. And he loves his kids and his wife and he'll do anything for them. He's just rude and arrogant, doesn't realize it.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of heart to the writing that they gave the character. But now it's like they've just attached to that Homer dumb.
Yeah.
Let's fucking laugh at him falling down the stairs and there's none of that really clever writing. It's just lowest common denominator. The show is so different.
And that's probably a lot of that's probably forced on them because of the political landscape.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things that change. But I mean, like, the last 20 years of The Simpsons has been like this, has been dumb.
Yeah.
And even I was like probably 15, 16 when I stopped watching it. And even then I started realizing this show's gone so dumb now. It's not funny. It just gets worse and worse.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think it's a good way to look at it.
Yeah,
you can break it up into the eras. You've got different writing teams. You've got different.
I don't reckon that's
talent.
where it changes with writing teams.
Well, wait, that's exactly where it changed. Because season 10 is when most of the original writers ushered out.
Yeah.
But then some of them came back for the movie, which was quite good. I liked the film, which was around season 19. And then that led into season 20, which was the first in widescreen, or 21. So yeah, there's always a definite change.
Yeah, for sure.
I haven't watched them for years. I haven't seen new episodes. Who knows? Maybe it got good again. I doubt it. But it's still on. It's still on. People are watching it. People must enjoy it. But again, it's pretty lowest common denominator, humor.
Yeah.
But even Family Guy's like that, lowest common denominator. But that's the point of the show.
Exactly right.
Like Peter Griffin fall downstairs and can't get up for 5 minutes. Yeah. And that's funny, but that's the show.
That's exactly. And it's always been
like that.
Always been like that.
Yeah. And you can laugh at it because, like, this is just so stupid.
Yeah.
But The Simpsons was never the stupid show. It was always very clever and very heartfelt show. Anyway.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, so that's good. So thank you for everyone for weighing in. And Bobby Walsh, I like the way you look at that. You got different eras, it's like they've rebooted it, but they've kept it under that one umbrella just because. Yeah. It's probably a clever marketing thing, really.
Oh, for sure.
There's no reason to go, new Simpsons reboot. There's no point. No. But yeah, I like that.
But and they haven't changed the numbering or anything on episodes.
No,
it's just continuous.
It's been a continuous show. And I think maybe probably even part of that is like, we're the longest running animated series in history.
Yeah,
keep it going.
Yeah.
Whereas the Flintstones would completely outweigh that because of the various different shows they've done. Well, maybe not. Maybe not, but the Flintstones went on for decades, but it was always reboot. And each reboot counts as a different show.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've got a little bit of news. We'll just quickly kind of brush over a little bit of stuff here. We talked about a little while ago, Netflix bought 2 Knives Out sequels from Rian Johnson the director of
Yep.
The Last Jedi and the director of Knives Out 1. And Netflix has bought the two sequels for what has now been confirmed to be a record-breaking $470 million deal. Now, they announced, when they first announced it, they said it's a $400 million deal, maybe like 450, but it's a $470 million deal, $469 million deal. And even at $400 million, this became the biggest ever biggest ever single picture acquisition in Hollywood history, not just streaming history, Hollywood history, biggest single picture acquisition ever.
Shit.
But now they're saying $470 million, so it completely blows it out. So Rian Johnson's written both sequels and he's ready to film. They're going to be shooting in Greece this summer. Throughout the week, they've been announcing new cast members. Like every day, there's been like, someone new's been announced.
Have we seen the first one?
Yes, we have. We spoke about this on the podcast last time, and you couldn't remember it then. But we've definitely seen it. It's like that murder mystery in the like castle kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
Sure, you remember?
Yes, I do remember.
Chris Evans. You got Daniel Craig.
Yeah.
Chris Evans. Christopher Plummer.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm blanking on another name here.
The female
was in Halloween. Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yep.
Really great cast. So they're doing a new cast because it's a new mystery. Daniel Craig's back as Benoit Blanc, which is going to be fun because he was really fun in that. And they've announced some new cast members. The first one to be announced was Dave Bautista.
Awesome.
Yeah, so it'll be quite
Awesome,
good. He's
I love
always
him.
fun. Another one of your favourites, Ed Norton.
He's not done a lot lately, has he?
I don't think he's ever really done a lot. If you look over his filmography, you'll probably find there's big gaps everywhere.
Probably.
He just doesn't do a lot. He's he's one that's very picky with what he does. So Ed Norton's in it. You've got Janelle Monáe is in it, who I really love. I think she's fantastic. You would recognize her. You might not know her name, but you would recognize her. She's incredible. She was in. I don't remember what I seen her in. She was in that one about the women at NASA during the space program. I can't remember what it's called, Hidden Figures or something like that. Yeah. She was amazing in that. And we've also got Catherine Hahn in it as well. Catherine Hahn. She's in WandaVision, Agatha, the Witch, like the lead villain from, you don't remember? She's in Step Brothers.
Yes, I do know.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes.
So Catherine Hahn.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah. So that's the cast so far. And she says Janelle Monáe. You'll know her if you see her. I don't think we've really seen her in a lot. You know her. She was in Hidden Figures. There you go.
Right, okay.
She's good. Anyway, that's a decent cast, so I'm looking forward to seeing that because I enjoyed the first movie. I thought it was fun. Looking forward to seeing 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Good. Decent cast rounding out there. Interesting.
Yep, I did enjoy the first one.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he's been busy. Like he's Ed Norton. But nothing really jumps out, you know?
Yeah. He doesn't do big movies. He does just independent stuff.
Sausage Party?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
anyway.
Grand Budapest.
Yeah.
Birdman.
Anyway, decent cast right there. Now, they've released a trailer for Venom 2. Let There Be Carnage.
Really?
Yeah.
Why would they?
You loved the first one, not really.
I just thought it was a piece of tripe.
Yeah. Okay, this is interesting because a lot of people are like, yeah, the Venom trailer, man, yeah. Venom trailer, yeah. And then everyone else is like, that's fucking awful.
Yeah.
You want to have a look?
Yeah, give me a look.
Let's have a look.
If it's anything like the first film, count me out.
We'll talk about it. Here we go. Let's have a look.
Welcome back, Eddie Brock. It's been a long time. Miss you so much.
The chocolate delivery hasn't arrived yet.
We had a deal.
What's gonna happen? You gonna stop protecting me?
I am happy to eat, Mrs. Chen.
No, you cannot eat, Mrs. Chen. What?
Nothing.
Really? That's awful.
Really bad, isn't it?
It looks like they've tried to introduce a bit of humour into it.
Yeah, I was going to say.
But the humour is like watching don't know, humour from, say, Casper the Friendly Ghost or something like that.
You know what
Like,
I
it's
think it is?
just-
You know what I think it
Oh,
is?
my God.
When they made the first movie, they tried to make like a real serious kind of movie. It just came off as just stupid, like crap, just really goofy and just whatever. And it's almost like they've come back to it and gone, let's just embrace that. Let's just embrace the fact that the first one was unintentionally really goofy and just really shitty. And let's just overdo it all. That's kind of that's what I get from it.
That scene of him in his kitchen having breakfast
Yeah.
was just shit.
Yeah, it's awful. That looks terrible.
Oh my God, I love Tom Hardy.
Yeah, he's great. And like, this is what I mean. This is what Sony does when
only-
they get their hands on a fucking Marvel property.
The only decent thing in that was Woody Harrelson.
Yeah, who's playing Carnage. But a really weird, like, oh man,
It's just bizarre.
this is I'm just so against anything that Sony does.
Who's
with
directing it?
Andy Serkis has directed this. He's taken over from Ruben Fleischer, who directed the first film. So they've taken on, I don't know. I've lost my train of thought now. I don't know. Yeah, every time Sony does something, takes a Marvel property and does something without Marvel, because this is disconnected from the Spider-Man.
Okay.
Venom is a Spider-Man
villain. Yeah.
but this is not connected, well, as far as we're aware. Anyway, they'll probably try.
It's connected to the Sony Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's connected to the Sonyverse, the Spider-Verse, and so Marvel has nothing to do with this.
Oh, you can tell.
And any time that Sony takes one of these Marvel properties, they just fuck it up. It's terrible.
trash.
It's terrible. Anyway, I'm sure we'll see it when it comes out, and we'll see how it goes. I wasn't.
It might look at that. We just seen the trailer,
Yeah.
and it might be completely out of context.
Yeah. I wasn't huge on the first one anyway, but I was.
No,
I'm interested. We'll see it, and we'll see how it goes. So here's the Venom.
But if that's the best trailer they can come up with for it,
Yikes!
it's not making me want to go see it.
No, certainly not.
Give us your opinion. If you get
Yeah,
on,
I'd
have
like to
a
know.
have a look at the trailer and tell me what you think.
Yeah.
Tell us what you think.
Okay, so now Disney is always like, with their movies, is always like, what's happening? How are you releasing your movies? Whatever, it's last
Going
year.
on Disney Plus. Was it going to the cinema? Was it going to both?
Yeah,
All that
right.
shit.
We've got updates on a couple of movies. Now, this happened a little while ago. The update we got, of course, Cruella and Black Widow are both headed to cinemas and Disney Plus. They're taking on that hybrid model. And then we've got Raya and the Last Dragon did that hybrid model earlier in the year. We've got Luca going to, which is Pixar's latest film, that's going to Disney Plus for free.
Looking forward to that one.
It's not going to cinemas, though. Going straight to Disney Plus for free. It's not
Oh.
Premier Access.
Nice.
Not nice. I want to see that on cinema.
Oh, we got a big screen here to watch it on.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Bit spoiled in that regard.
I know, but I just feel like that's a movie that deserves to be seen by the
for
masses on
sure.
a big screen.
It's not going to cinema at all.
No.
Bugger. That would be
That's
beautiful.
what I'm saying.
That would be really
Right.
nice in the cinema.
Cruella, Black Widow, cinemas and Disney Plus Premier Access, which means you pay $30 for it. Luca is going direct to Disney Plus for free, like they did with Soul. Anyway, we discussed this a few weeks ago.
We need to get a 4K projector,
I know, but then you need to
or get
replace-
somebody to
Can
give
we
us
have?
one.
Yeah, who can give us a 4K projector?
Sony,
We'll
maybe.
promote it. Sony, please. We just fucking ragged on. we just fucking ragged on Venom.
Yeah, the different parts of the company.
Sony, please. I'm sorry. I love Venom. 10
Venom
stars.
is trash.
10 stars, Venom 2. Can I have my projector now? Okay, anyway, so that we talked about that a few weeks ago. There's a whole thing over Luca being dumped for free. Essentially, Pixar's not happy with it by all accounts, allegedly. There have been people coming out like, yeah, we're not happy with it. We feel like we're like being treated pretty shit because I did the same thing with Soul. Like, why is our movies getting dumped for free? Anyway, we've got updates on my most anticipated Disney film of the year, which is Jungle Cruise, The Rock and Emily Blunt. This is joining the list of movies that will release hybrid. So this will go to cinemas, thank the Lord, and it also got a Premier Access for $30 a pop. Obviously, Premier Access is doing okay if they keep shoving movies on it for $30. People are obviously paying.
Well,
I hear a lot
it
of
must be.
complaining, but people are obviously paying for it.
Yeah,
They haven't
for
dropped
sure.
the price, and they're still doing it.
And if there's the only way we could watch it, we'd probably pay the $30.
Yeah, exactly right. So that's going to go to cinemas.
Hopefully we'll get a preview.
Should do, hopefully, yeah. So we should get, so that's going to cinemas, it's going to Disney Plus, Premier Access. The Rock tweeted out or sent out something, I don't know. But he said, the most important thing with our movie was always to take care of families around the world by giving you options to watch it. Audience first. Let's own our 2021 comeback as we get back into the swing of life. All aboard. Good on him.
You can just imagine him.
Yeah. So that's good. They couldn't push this movie off again. This is the one that's been delayed and delayed and delayed. It was supposed to come out in 2018. They pushed it to 2019, and then they pushed it to 2020, and then pandemic.
By the time they get it out, it'll be out of date.
Oh yeah, they wanted this to be like their next franchise. This was going to be like the next Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Didn't realise that.
And it just keeps getting pushed and pushed and pushed. You can't keep pushing this one. So it's finally coming out on July 30th on the hybrid model.
So it was made in what, 2017, 2018?
Yeah, probably.
When they made it.
Yeah.
So by the time it gets to cinema, the technology that they made it with is way out of date.
It still looks good. But I just feel
will.
like, how long can you leave it between sequels? I don't know. Anyway, that one's get the hybrid one. Now we've got two other movies which are coming out a bit later in the year. This Free Guy, which is the 20th Century Pictures film with Ryan Reynolds, where he's the non-player character in a video game.
Oh, that's right.
Wakes up, he
looking forward to that.
realizes in a video game and decides to become the hero.
But wants to be a playable character.
Yeah. That one comes out in August 13. And, of course, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings is coming out on September 3rd. Now, both of these are going exclusively to theatres, but only for a 45-day window.
That's a long window.
Yeah.
Really? Even pre-pandemic, though, most films weren't even on for 45 days.
I think 90 days is the regular window.
But they don't run them for that long, most of the cinemas. Surely not.
No, they like force cinemas to. Well, you have to have at least like towards the end of the 90 days, it might be that you play it twice
Once
a week or something.
Yeah.
But it still has to be in cinemas. That's like the rules that the studio will give
Supplier,
to the exhibitor.
Right.
So you have to run it for this long. So they're going to give them exclusive theatre runs for 45 days. And what happens after that? Don't know. Probably straight to Disney Plus, I would imagine. Maybe Premier Access after the 45 days, or maybe cheaper Premier. I don't know. They haven't really said. But so there's a little bit of an update on those ones there. Quite interesting. A bit more about Emily Blunt. We've talked about her a couple of times. Now, she's squashed rumours. Now, there have been kind of rumours for years that her and John Krasinski were going to be cast in Fantastic Four as Reed Richards and Sue Storm.
The other day.
It's been a thing that's been going on for ages. People have there's fan art and everything. People are like, it's going to happen. She was on Howard Stern. And Howard Stern,
ago, wasn't it?
it was only yesterday or the day before. He sort of asked her about it, and she's basically just squashed it and said, no, it's just fan casting. It's all rumors. But then the kicker was that she said she's just not interested in general. I don't race to see superhero movies. They leave me feeling a little bit cold. So they're not up my alley. I think it's been exhausted. It's not to say that I would never want to play one. It would just have to be something so cool, and then I'd be interested. She says it's not beneath her, but she just doesn't think superheroes are for her. So that's the thing that's got everyone like, no, because so many times you hear these people as like, oh, this guy's been, or this woman's been cast as this character, and then they get asked and like, no, I'm not, and then like a week later it's like confirmed.
And if they came to her with a good character,
Yeah.
and offered her 20 mil or 30 or 40 or 50 mil, she going to turn it down?
Well, she was offered Black Widow and turned it down.
Really?
Yep.
Couldn't imagine it as Black Widow, to be honest.
No, I think Scarlett's perfect for it.
She's awesome.
But she famously turned down the role of Black Widow for Iron Man 2. She actually said in this interview, she said, I really liked Iron Man and I wanted to work with Robert Downey, but it wasn't for her. So many times you hear, like even Paul Rudd, like was rumoured for Ant-Man for ages. There's this clip online where someone's like, hey, are you Ant-Man? And he's like, it's just rumours, man. He's like, don't worry about it. And then a little while after it was like, confirmed, Paul Rudd. So you can kind of think, maybe she's playing it down, but then she adds in the kicker, which is, just not a huge fan of superhero movies. So now everyone's like, sad.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've always felt like I think they'd be good, but I always felt like it's just obvious at this point that that's the casting. Like I would like to see someone else. Or anything.
Yeah, exactly right.
I think so. It's not like huge hit to me, but a lot of people are quite upset that it seems like this fan casting's not going to happen.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway,
be interesting.
Yeah.
Time will tell.
well, yeah, exactly right. Well, the girl who was the woman who was cast as She-Hulk, whose name escapes me at the moment again. There were rumors swirling about her playing She-Hulk for a while, and then she was asked on one of the talk shows, "Is She-Hulk?" She's like, "I've not heard anything about it." And then, like 2 weeks later, it's confirmed. But again, the kicker here is that Emily Blunt's like not just saying, "Oh no, it's false." It's just like, "I'm just not interested."
Just not into
Not
superhero
interested.
films.
Anyway, we'll see what happens
Fair
there.
enough.
Let's take a couple of subscriber questions and wrap this one up. Hey,
Yeah, sure. Why not? Blake, g'day, mate.
hey, Blake.
Blake Eisen, Patreon.
Yep.
Been a listener since day.
Not
really?
Almost, yeah.
Okay, his question. He says, my question is off the back of your quick comments about slow TV. I love slow TV. It's great fun. Have it running in the background while I'm doing other stuff, and it's just really
Have a nap.
relaxing. It's a bit like you listening to classical music
Probably,
when you're working. Comments about slow TV. If you could make a slow TV program about anything, what would it be? Keep up the great work, as usual. Cheers from Brisbane, Blake.
For those who don't know
Thanks, Blake.
anything about... Thanks, Blake. For those who don't know what slow TV is, it's literally like a 9 to 10 hour program of like, it might be shot out of the front of a train doing a journey and you get to watch the whole train journey.
Yep.
And then there's nice music over the top. Sometimes they little facts pop up on the screen or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, exactly.
That's what
right.
it's just slow
Yeah,
television.
Exactly right.
So anyway, you're the slow TV connoisseur. I'll let you have this one.
Probably there's a really good road here in Victoria. It's the Great Ocean Road, and I reckon that would be awesome. And it runs along the south coast of Victoria.
Yeah.
And I think to drive the full length of it probably takes a few hours, probably 4 hours or something maybe. So I reckon a slow TV of that would be awesome. I'd love that. Because the scenery of the coast down there is just incredible, absolutely incredible. Another one would be good. Would be another road trip from Melbourne to the centre of Australia to Uluru.
Yeah,
I reckon that'd be great. Some beautiful scenery out the back, out back there. Although you see that on that other thing,
the Garn.
the Garn Railway.
Yeah,
That'd be for me. I
There you
reckon
go.
that'd be what I'd do. But you couldn't.
I'd like to see one which is like maybe, that. Oh no, it's not even really that interesting. I was going to say England to Scotland. That's only a few hours anyway. There's some nice scenery. Maybe like like a slow TV through the Highlands of Scotland.
Oh yeah, that'd be good. So they did another. There was another one I stumbled across one night. Was along the Murray River.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
And that was awesome. A lot of that was shot with a on a drone and
Drones
and
and
stuff.
stuff,
That was
yeah.
really pretty.
Yeah. All
So
right,
yeah,
next
so there
one.
you go, Blake.
Yeah.
Who's this one? Yamiro Fernandez.
I'm not sure.
Yamiro?
Yamario? I'm not sure. I apologize.
Yamario Fernandez. Sorry, mate.
Let us know.
Yeah,
so
let us
I
know
don't
how
do
to
it wrong.
pronounce his first name.
Because this guy does write in a lot. So I'd like
Okay.
to, let me know how to pronounce your name so I don't butcher it again.
I
I
was thinking
apologize.
of Yamario.
Mario, probably, yeah.
Anyway, would you say that Tomorrowland in 2015 is a bad movie? A lot of people dislike it, and I feel I'm by myself and thinking it's fantastic.
Tomorrowland. This is the one with George Clooney.
Yep.
Where it's like the futuristic thing. She like picks up the coin, and when she picks up, she goes into the future. It's like it's futuristic. Catherine Hahn's in this one actually too. I love this film, but it's not great. I have a lot of thoughts on this. I've actually thought about doing a video on this for years. The film was very much. I'll try not to waffle on too much. But the film was very much inspired by Walt Disney's ideals for the perfect future. He had his ideas for his Epcot. He was going to build like a futuristic city of tomorrow where they were going to test out like future technologies and shit. which after he died, the company was like, we don't know what the hell we're doing. We can't build and run a city, so they just made a theme park, Epcot. So essentially this movie took that idea of what if Walt Disney's City of the Future was a real thing, and that's what the movie's about. And it's about like peace and prosperity going into the future and cleaning up war and all that stuff. Everyone lives together and is peaceful, all that shit, like this harmonious city of tomorrow. And the film originally had all these threads where Walt Disney was actually mentioned. And they mentioned that Walt Disney and all these other great inventors used to get together and mapped out Tomorrowland.
Yep.
And these were all real threads in the film. And even some of the trailers you'll see, they mention, Walt Disney created this and shit. They cut it all out. Because I thought it was too on the nose. But you watch the movie and there's just gaping holes. Someone like me understands what the movie's about because I've studied Walt Disney and what he was doing with it and all that shit. So for me, I can see where the movie's coming from, and I think this movie's so great, but they cut all the best bits out, the bits that actually make it make sense to someone who maybe doesn't have that knowledge.
Yep.
So everyone else watches it and goes, what the fuck's this? So they cut out just everything that was just like, it would have been so good. This is a Brad Bird film, man. Brad Bird did like The Incredibles and Iron Giant and just fucking worked on the early season of The Simpsons. Terrific. And it just flopped. Didn't make much money. It was a stinker. People didn't like it. I think it's a great movie. I
remember the build up to that.
Yeah. It was huge. They made a big deal out of it.
Huge
I've got the
anticipation
little George Clooney pop vinyl from that.
Oh God.
But yeah, I love the film because of what it tried to be, but they cut all the
best bits out.
The great bits out. There's, I think, a few deleted scenes on the Blu-ray, the DVD that show some of it. Yeah, but no. Because even in the film, they go back to the World's Fair because Walt Disney created a lot of what do you call it? Attractions for the World's Fair in the early 50s, which were then were taken to Disneyland. So then there were scenes where they go to the World's Fair, the underground, what's that fucking one with all the dolls? It's a small world.
Small world, yeah.
So all this stuff was tied into it, and they just cut it all out.
Because he bought all the land, didn't he?
Yeah.
Didn't he buy up all that land?
Yeah.
It's all that land.
Well, yeah.
Epcot and that is.
Exactly right.
They own.
And that's why they bought so much, because he's going to build a city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think they didn't they have the idea that they would they would allow him to build
his investors didn't want him to build a city, but they said they said, we want to build a park, you want to build a city, we'll let you have your city, but you have to build the theme park as you're going into the city.
And they were talking about building at the back of it, so that he wanted to build it at the back because they had to drive through his city to get there.
So anyway, that's why the park was in the works while he was alive. Anyway, like I said, I don't want to waffle too much because I will make a video on this at one point. But yeah, they cut just everything out that was just tied to how great this film really could have been.
Yeah,
it was just stinker in the end. But I love it for what it tried to
exactly.
be.
K-Fig Custom.
Yeah.
What movies do you remember watching too young? Something that you look back at now and say, who let me watch that?
Yeah. Well, I was thinking like I don't ever really watching anything that was unsuitable. Like I don't think like you ever sat me down and was like, fucking watch The Shining when you're 9 years old.
That was your mother's fault. She wouldn't let you watch it.
I can't even remember the first R-rated film I watched. The only things that I ever think that I might have been too young to watch is things that I might have just seen in passing. Like, it's not like I sat down to watch an R-rated film when I'm 5.
Yeah.
It's just things that I saw in passing that, like, scarred me for life. Like Titanic. I remember seeing the end of Titanic when the boat crashes and the people all falling down into the sea and dying and shit. Probably when that first came out. So I was probably quite young. I remember seeing it on TV. And I was quite freaked out by that. I remember being at a birthday party when I was younger where they were watching Terminator 2. And that creeped me out, particularly the scene where he's standing at the scene where he's standing at the play equipment, and then has like a vision or something of the apocalypse, and everything starts burning up, and that creeped the hell out of me. Starship Troopers was another one. All the kids were watching at this sleepover.
Really?
Yeah, I rang you up. I'm like, I'm coming home. I don't want to be here. I don't want to watch it.
I remember.
I must have been very, very young. And just stuff like that, like Goosebumps. I saw little bits of the Goosebumps episode with Dummy with the head on backwards. That freaked the shit out of me. It was probably like 6 or 7. Episode of the Australian series, Round the Twist, where there was a scarecrow.
What was the doll with the EC?
EC, yeah.
EC creeped you out initially, too.
Did he? I don't know.
Yeah.
I was like 3.
Yeah, because it was
Probably.
a doll with no face.
But then I had the doll.
But you loved the doll.
Weird.
Yeah.
Return to Oz. I hated the Wheelers, the guys with the wheels and the creepy face. And there's a scene in that movie where she goes in, there's like this hall with all these windows, and there's always like these severed heads in the windows. That whole movie just creeped the shit out of me. Hated it. But yeah, as far as like sitting and watching something that I was too young to watch, never really happened. It was just these little things that I saw.
Well, the flying
that creeped
monkeys.
me out.
Flying monkeys.
Yeah, they creeped me out originally, yeah. I came to like them. Because, where there's a scene where they rip the scarecrow apart.
Yeah, that's right.
And I remember seeing that as a kid and thinking, oh, that's so graphic. They've, like, ripped his body apart and he's everywhere. Now I watch it back, it's just fucking straw man. Yeah. I learned to love that too.
Gut made of straw.
Yeah. Yeah, but I have these vivid memories of that being really graphic. Yeah.
Funny.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Anyway, you said you had a few.
Yeah, I got a few. I remember being, probably only 10 or 12, maybe 12 years old, and my mother took me and my older brother to see the Poseidon Adventure.
Right.
Not
another shipwreck film.
not a film for a 10 or 12-year-old, that's for sure, at the time, because there was really nothing like that around. It was around that time when they were doing all those disaster films. And because of that film, to this day, I will not go on a cruise for the rest of my life. I will not get on a cruise.
Finally explains it.
Yeah, there's no way. It just scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
And I will never, ever, I'll get on a boat, but I won't get on a big boat. I won't get on a cruise or anything. No way in the world. The Trilogy of Terror was another one. I think that was made in probably 72, 3, something like that. And they're in that it's a film of 3 short films, all linked by the actress that was in it was the same actress in each of the 3, and there was this little doll. It was like an African sort of doll.
Yeah, yeah.
And it had these
like
big,
a totem thing.
Yeah, and it had these big teeth, and it was with a knife and slashing at the woman and all this sort of stuff. And eventually it bit her, and she turned into the creepy doll. So that was another one. That scared the crap out of me and my brother and my sister. And it would come on late at night, and it would be on, 9 o'clock at night or late as a kid's, And from our bedroom, we could look through the crack in the door. And we could see the TV, and if it was on, we'd look at it, we'd watch it, and we couldn't put our feet on the floor. Feet had to be off the floor. So that scared the shit out of me. Towering Inferno was another one.
Yeah, yeah.
Scared the shit out of me. It took me years to be able to go into a bloody high-rise building.
Yeah, Sats on Fire.
Yeah.
Talk about Paul Newman, Steve McQueen.
Yeah. Earthquake was another one.
Yeah, all these
that wasn't so bad. So they were all around the same time.
Yeah.
And then there was a TV show called Night Stalker with Darren McGavin, and that used to scare the shit out of me. And there was a show on a Friday night on TV, and it was called Deadly Earnest. And he presented horror films and stuff like that. And that scared the shit out of me too when I was a kid. But yeah, that was for me anyway.
There you go. Now let's look. We're going very long. Let's go with Walter Source. Walter Source is written in.
Oh, here we go.
I've got so many questions. Oh no, actually, we'll go Walter Source. Then we've got another one there. I've got heaps of questions here. I'll carry them over to next week. Let's have a look at Walter Saucer.
Have you seen movies like, here we go, Harold and Maude?
I've not watched that one yet.
I don't know who's
It's
that.
like an older lady who falls in love with falls in love with a younger man, and I've never seen it.
Not interested. Blue Jasmine?
Yes.
The Devil Wears Prada?
No, I haven't seen it. Emily Blunt again.
Not Emily Blunt. The Book of Life?
No. That's an animated film. It's apparently very good.
Sounds like trash.
No, apparently very, very good.
Saving Mr. Banks?
Yes, absolutely.
Blade 1 and 2?
No, I never watched Blade. You've seen Blade.
I've seen them, yes. National Treasure 1 and 2?
Yes, fantastic.
Smoking the Bandit?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Original Ghost in the Shell?
No.
The Full Monty?
Yeah.
Funny People?
Yep.
DuckTales the movie,
Long time ago, yeah.
The Searchers,
Yeah.
War of the Roses,
Yeah.
A Fish Called Wanda,
Yeah.
Hot Shots,
Yes.
love it, Charlie Sheen,
Yeah.
yeah, As Good as It Gets,
Yes.
awesome, Nomadland,
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago.
great film,
Yeah.
Manchester by the Sea,
Yeah, hated it.
yeah, just
Hated
ordinary.
it. So depressing.
Blue Velvet
Yes.
and Pretty Woman,
yeah.
Mum's favourite film.
Yeah. There you go. Quite a few good ones.
Yeah, thanks, Walter.
Yeah.
Wolfer.
Yeah.
And you
Is
want
it
that bottom?
Walter? I want to know.
Walter or Wolfer. Let us know what
I
it is.
keep pronouncing the, but then I think maybe it's just Walter.
I think it's Wolfer.
I think it might be too because
think it's
he hasn't said anything yet.
Yeah.
My friend, please let me know down in the comments.
And one here from the world's worst manager.
Yeah, he's written in.
self-appointed manager.
Asshole. Yeah,
Wacko Jacko.
yeah,
Hey Dave, love the pod. Yeah, well, I don't think we're going to love you after this.
yeah.
Was just walking down the street and saw Leo, as in DiCaprio,
Yeah.
walking down the street. Couldn't resist taking a pic for you guys. Enjoy.
There you go. Now, for those out there watching at home, you can see it on the screen. Everyone else, I will upload these to Instagram. You can go and check them out on Instagram and Twitter. This is a picture. Wacko Jacko saw Leo walking down the street with a Shite All Right t-shirt on. There he is, just chilling out wearing his Shite All Right merch.
I think we need to make them.
Yeah, I think so.
Make them and sell them.
Well, he also saw The Rock too.
Did he?
Yeah, he saw The Rock. The Rocks are in and on Tuesdays I listen to Dave Lee Down Under podcast t-shirt. He's loving it. So yeah, I think we might. I've been thinking about doing merchandise.
It should be Tuesday night's Deadwood night.
Yeah. Yeah. We want to make some t-shirts. We want to do some merch. Wacko is actually making up some stickers and stuff for us. So we'll see how they turn out. They look good from what I've seen. But yeah, so I think we're going to start doing some merch, but I don't know. I need to know if people will actually purchase it before we start doing it properly. So let us know. Let me know. Email me, daveleepod@gmail.com.
Have to come up with
Twitter.
a couple and...
Yeah, we're thinking about coming up with, we're going to do like a sticker pack, and we're thinking about doing a few t-shirts. Let us know if you would buy it. And it will be like a mix of stuff from like the podcast and the YouTube channel. So,
yeah.
So you might get your Shite All Right t-shirt or your
World's
Cartoon
Worst
Evolution.
Manager
Your
or-
Worst Manager or your Cartoon Evolution shirt or something.
Or what was the game that Jackson started?
The bingo, Dave Lee bingo. Oh yeah, we're going to try and sell like the bingo card. I don't know. Just let us know if you would purchase some merch. It'll help support the channel. And as I say, everything that I earn from the channel goes back into the channel from stuff like this. So let us know. I'm keen on launching some stuff. So yeah, let me know. Please let me know. Don't know what happened there. Started and stopped. Started again. Well, that's it. That's all we have time for today, and it's gone over 2 hours again. Thanks again for joining us today. The podcast goes out every single Monday on all podcasting platforms, including Apple, Spotify, Google, Amazon Music, and Audible. The visual element available to view on YouTube as well goes out the same day, but if you're a patron supporter, you can get it 2 days earlier on early access. So just head over to patreon.com/Dave Lee Down Under. You can get your access to that one. The video podcasts are, of course, on a brand new channel. We've taken them over to a new space to kind of exist on their own. We really appreciate the views and the subs over there. Got to get all that back up so we can get the monetization back onto the podcast. You can find me on the regular YouTube is, of course, Dave Lee Down Under. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. All linked down the bottom, so you don't need to go search and just click straight through. If you want to write into the show, again, you can shoot an email to daveleepod@gmail.com. If you're listening on podcast platforms, please leave a review and a rating. It helps.
Only good ones.
Only the good ones, yeah. YouTube preview.
We'll hunt you down.
Yeah, we will. Last week on the channel, I dropped like a shitload of cartoon news. I, of course, dropped my Tasmanian Devil Cartoon Evolution. I dropped the tour through the ACMI exhibition, the ACMI exhibition. Have a look. Also, my review for those who wish me dead. A bunch of stuff went up last week, so go and check that out. This week on the channel, I don't really have any plans. I'm going to be working on my next evolution, which I'll probably announce next week.
Shit'll pop up.
Yeah, there'll be cartoon news, I'm sure, throughout the week that will be dropped. So
yep.
We'll just keep your eye on the channel, but nothing huge, no huge videos this week. At that, guys, yeah, thanks for joining us. We will hopefully see you next week if we haven't annoyed you so much this week.
Hope so.
We'll hope to see you back.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Okay, guys.
Thanks for joining me.
Take care.
See you later.